Checkity check. Checkity check. Don't anybody be diving into that new link yet. That wasn't supposed to show up yet. Don't click on it. Don't you do it. You ruin everything if you do it. Don't you do it. Fourth curator prime 42 months. Walking miracle, how dare you? How dare you? What's up, everybody? Happy NFTuesday! Happy almost Lincoln Park Day! Tomorrow. We also have Marvel Zombies tomorrow. And I got a little something for you guys. There's our free NFT for this week. For this NFTuesday, in the style inspired by Marvel Zombies, hand-curated lettering. You're very, very welcome. Freebies for everyone. Thank you, Cutie Back. Be sure to fill out the form. Exclamation point free NFT in the chat. Chuck, truer, less useful words have never been uttered. There you go. Let me pin that. Bam. Till the end of the stream, fool. All the way. No, I don't. I just wanted you to go away. Can you go away? Weird option. And then let me put this over on the YouTubes and get the chat. What's up, TB Melios? Justin Clayton. How are you now? I'm putting it up there for you now. Justin Clayton. Well, let's pop that chat out. Pop that chat out. Congratulations to all you football fans who have teams that have showed up. My Texans have decided they're not playing this season. Weird move. Just gonna wait it out till the 2026 season. Apparently, I don't know what the thought process in that was, but you know. I thought we were going to have a really good team this year, and hurts to be a fan sometimes. Let's see who all's here. I see some Sonics. There's some Sonics. Welcome, Allie. What's up? One more day to LP. Autumn's Toys, Red Ranger, Punked, fourth curator. Walking Miracle. Cutie Beck. Chuck. Oh, I can think of some like Texas and look. See, you said it before I could even say it. Zach Bonifer, Misty, Sither Jedi. Yeah. Oh, you know it sucks is your Steelers have. You know he may be a little old these days, but you got a hell of a QB there. Maybe it's too late. You know, Laney said, what's up with Stroud? I don't think it's Stroud's fault, to be honest with you. I don't think we're getting much help from the offensive coordinator or the offensive line. Been a long-standing problem in Houston that the offensive line is an issue. Long-standing problem. We've had great defenses, not really had much of a great offensive line over the years. What's up, Bubba James? Jumps to Frog says, I'm a Browns fan. It's hard to have sympathy for other teams having a bad year. I am also a Browns fan now, thanks to my wife and her family. They are not my main team. If it's Texans versus Browns, I'm always cheering for the Texans. But I do like watching with them and being able to celebrate. And that was a great victory for the Browns yesterday or Sunday. Really shocking that they pulled that one out. We were jumping up and down. Lots of fun. Good game. Good game. P. King subscribed with Prime, making 49 months. Thank you, P. King. Allie said, I preemptively took the day off in case there was a pop-up. I did not anticipate it being over the week. Allie sent me a nice message, and I wish I had seen it as well, but Lincoln Park had a pop-up at a mall here. I would have been there in a heartbeat, but didn't see it, and I guess I'm no longer on the Lincoln Park underground mailing list. I can't imagine why I would have ever unsubscribed from that. Very odd. But I missed out on an opportunity. That's okay. I'm going to be at the event tomorrow night at, where is it at? It's the weird name. It's the Amazon arena, but it's called, what is it called? It's such a stupid name, to be honest with you. Climate Pledge Arena. They named the stadium after a pledge that was made by Amazon to be good to the environment. Cool. What a weird name. What a weird name. Texans just released CJ Gardner-Johnson. Interesting. Bucks 3-0, all wins in the last minute of the game. I saw that, man. It's exciting, but also nerve-wracking to watch. I just enjoy a good game, and they're sure providing. Red Ranger says, "My happiness was blocked like all those field goals Sunday." Oh my happiness. That was a crazy game with the Eagles, was it? And the blocked field goals. That was nuts. We're not talking football the whole time, gang, but it's relevant. It's here. Let's see if I can get the chat from Twitter. Did it go live on Twitter? It went live on Twitter. Let's see if we can get a rare chat to cooperate. Pop out chat. Hey, it cooperated. Everybody wants to dog Elon every time something goes remotely wrong with Twitter. Good job, Elon. Good job. Like he's the only guy coding there. It's really ridiculous. My mom is a Dolphins fan, so she's going through it. She's feeling some things. I feel you. I think the Lions just sacked Lamar Jackson again. Did they get a hold of him a lot? I didn't get to watch any of that game or even the highlights. We had a somewhat busy weekend, I guess. We ended up going to the Kraken game on Sunday night, and the Kraken, it was a preseason game. They won 5-3, I think it was. A very exciting game, though. I enjoy going to watch the Kraken. Lots of fun. Oh, you can't see the lights because of the logo there. I do have one that has a clear background, but where do we want to put this? Let's put this over here for today. There you go. I like the light showing through the neon. Well, he could hire coders and be a nicer boss, Sully. We're not getting into it. We all have opinions, and I don't know enough to have a real opinion to like even be defensive or have a conversation on it. I think if you look at it from the simplest point of view, he came in and took something that was just a behemoth and was losing money, and he made it profitable again. Did he do it in the best possible manner? I don't know. I can't really judge that. Did he do what he does with a lot of businesses and make it successful? Yeah. Could it be better? Probably. But I've always loved Twitter as a platform. I think it's great. And I've never understood why people think Twitter is crap and that they would prefer other platforms. Twitter does it all. I'm always surprised people love Instagram, but people don't like to read, so that makes sense. People love, give me the pretty pictures in the video. And I get that too. I understand. I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just saying it's the simplest form, and people like the simple. Nadu said, has it ever dawned on anyone that Droppp DP has to end for Digital Pop to begin on the Funko site? You lost me there, Nadu. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Reword it, maybe, and let's try again. I'm sure you have a good concept or idea there. Okay, we talked about the free Nerds Unite NFT for today, and then I got something special that some of you may have already peeked at a little bit. I showed you on Friday. Wait, I showed you this. So I was working on a new logo, and I thought, hey, I want to make stickers. Yo, a hype chest. Let's go. I didn't know we did a hype train. It's the frog wow emote. I'm going to give everybody some points since we did a hype train. I'll give everybody 50. I don't think we completed anything, but... Good morning, Buzz King. What's happening? How are you now? Or good afternoon to some. It's 11:11. 11:11, if that means anything to you. So anyway, I revealed this logo on Friday. We talked about it a little bit. And then over the weekend, I really got to thinking about what I could do with this to make it fun and to get you guys a sticker. But to take it up a little bit, I started having these thoughts of what could I do for future cons, right? And I really enjoyed creating... Where's that sticker? I really enjoyed creating this because it gave me an opportunity to not only get people a sticker, but also to promote the business in a way like, hey, you get this, you look at it, you go, oh, cool, I'll peel the sticker off. Well, what's the rest of this info? Oh, that's where I can find Sully on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch and YouTube. And what does he do? Well, there's a little positive, family-friendly live streams, collectibles, NFTs, gaming, and more. Kind of ramps up, what we do here, right? Because I want to get in front of people that don't normally get in the mix. They don't really know what this is about. I still think we have a real problem in this world about Twitch. People just assume Twitch and live streaming is about video games and kids playing Fortnite and cursing at one another and acting a fool, because that's the way it's portrayed in every movie under the sun, except maybe Fall Guy. Not Fall Guy. Wait, what was the one with Ryan Reynolds where he was in the game? That wasn't called Fall Guy, was it? I'm blanking now. There's been too many, but that one. They actually showed streamers kind of in a better light in that way in some respects. But anyway, I want to get in front of people and go, hey, I don't know, Free Guy, there you go, thank you. I don't know what you think about Twitch, but I've been doing training and education, and we have a good group of people over there that hang out and have a good time with one another. Come join us. And a lot of people will never do it because they don't want to click on the button because they think they understand what Twitch is. Anyway, long story short, I'm hoping to battle against that. No, what are you talking about, Miss Jessie's? No, I'm not tired of you guys. I'm looking to build our audience. We all benefit when there's more people here to converse with and have good conversations and learn from and share with and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. More people that come, hopefully the more money I make, better prizes I give away. You see where I'm going here? You see where I'm going here? Okay, anyway. So I came up with this concept, and once it hit, it started rolling, and I was like, oh, I like this. Let's go with it. No, Nadu, absolutely not. Stop it, back it up, get out of here. More people means lower giveaway odds. Don't like it. All right, Red Ranger. Cal Laird said, maybe not tired of you guys. Me, on the other hand, that boat sailed a while ago. Miss Fancy Cherry, I think you just wrapped up what it is to be my stepdaughter. Any kind of new thing or change, she is just immediately like, no, I hate it. Like, oh man, come on now, you can't. I keep trying to tell her the only constant is change. It doesn't mean anything to her yet, but if I say it a lot, maybe eventually she'll go, you know what, you're probably right. Spitfire! Thank you for that. How's it going? Hey, what's up, 420? How you doing? I love you guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Miss Jessie Star said, join the First Order. Oh, Sully went to the dark side. That's why he's trying to get rid of us. I don't know what you guys are taking from this, but it's wrong. It is definitely wrong. Ooh, some hearts. It's a combo. We have a combo. Oh, looky there. So as you guys give bits, the combos get bigger. I still don't fully understand this thing. It's fairly new, but if you wanted to give some bits and we see where this thing goes, that'd be fun. Now would be the time. If you got a few bits laying around there, you want to check the couch cushions, send a little something my way, that'd be awesome. I gotta turn the AC on. It's already getting warm here. I've been working here all morning. But anyway, back to my story before you guys derailed it and took it in the worst possible way. I wanted to come up with something fun. So what I've come up with, and I think you'll be eating your words in just a minute. Yeah, stop it, Miss Jessie Star. Sully needs to start streaming yoga classes that will boost. No, Nadu. Get back in line. Why are you over there? Back in line. We're talking about a thing here. I guess I'll just have to show it to you guys because you don't want to wait. All right, here we go. So I came up with the concept of I wanted a sticker that's a kiss cut like this, where it peels off and leaves you with a something, if you are so inclined. And I got to add the image of the first one here for you. 1 second. I didn't add this image. This was kind of a in between. Where is it? Oh, come on. Come on. Man, what is happening? I know I have a folder for this. Why are you being a dum-dum? Is it under NFTs? Oh, because I spelled out New York Comic Con. Oh, okay. Oh, and I don't have the image I wanted to show you. 1 second. I got to do this right. If you can't pick on your friends and family, who can you pick on? That's true. Hey, what's up, Matthews Ranch? Downward owl position. Wait, the changes that Kelly is taking over. Wait, where did it say? It jumped. Dang it. Oh, look at there. We had 705 bits. I don't know what these combos are exactly. I still don't understand it. Would have been nice if it was like a training class on it or something. Hold, please. I know I made this image. So this is dumb. Sully streaming, NFTs, New York, not NY. There we go. Okay. Now let me try to put it on screen. Yeah, Miss Jessie Star's right on this one, Chuck. Chuck likes to push the boundaries. We're almost there. Horrible show so far. Okay, here we go. So the idea of the boarding pass was born. Let's take down this for just a minute. So I made this, imagine with me if you will, a boarding pass. The idea of us, the Nerd Unite community, going to places, going to conventions around the world. And the more I've gone to, I've always tried to have something to hand out. I had this idea of, well, it's about a destination. It's about all of us coming together at a place, or at least wishing we could, right? So if I make this a little bigger for you, if you look on here, it's a Kiss Cut sticker, the Positivity Nerds Unite, that looks like the New York Comic Con, but it is a 5-inch wide collectible, the whole thing, just from here to here. That'll be 5 inches wide and 2 inches tall over there. 2 inches tall. So that sticker will come out to about 3 inches wide, maybe a little bit bigger. You got on there at the top what Nerds Unite is about. There's that positive, family-friendly live streams, collectibles, NFTs, gaming, and more. You got the NU going to NYC. You got the dates. You got the location. You got a QR code that takes you to my new link tree that I just created over the weekend. And then you got your limited edition, numbered out of 100. And, of course, you got my Twitter, Twitch, all the links, right? Once it started coming together, I was like, I really put a lot into the details on this that you won't see until you get the final sticker in hand. But I was very excited about this idea. And I like it because it's going to provide the opportunity to do this for a bunch of future cons. And something I wanted to do with the NU logo before, but I never liked, I got the first one out for Emerald City Comic Con and it just wasn't as exciting as I had hoped. It just didn't have the feel that this has. This is a commemorative ticket. I'm always talking about how cool a commemorative ticket for going to an event would be. And this could be your commemorative ticket. So anyway, these are in production right now. And I want to put them up for sale for you guys, but here we go. Now listen to me here. Because I love you guys so much, and you are my regulars and you're here all the time, you need some special perks if you pick this up. Am I right? I think you would agree. You deserve some special perks. So what I've done is, if you purchase this, if you pre-order it from me, I'm going to sell it to you kind of as a bundle, where you're going to get this and a couple of free NFTs. Well, not free. You get it as part of the bundle. A couple of NFTs, that's the only way you can get it. You'll get the Positivity Nerds Unite NYCC inspired. By the way, Savage. Big round of applause for Savage, who won the big laptop, the big giveaway from Live AF Meld Studio. How freaking cool is that? That is a hell of a prize. Savage is just, you're required to stream daily, at least Savage, from this. I can't wait to see what you do with it. I'm so excited. Yeah, there we go. TB420 Prime, 51 months. Did Chuck leave? Gonna go cry in the corner. Wow, what a shame. What a shame. I thought he was a bigger man than that. He's crying. Okay. It's okay, I cried too. Not over that, but over things. So anyway, I've got a boarding pass opportunity for you guys to come in here and pick up on. I think this is gonna be the beginning of something. I would love to do it for Emerald City Comic Con. I would love to do it for San Diego Comic Con next year, and so on and so on. The first stickers are already in production and will be to me. I got a deadline of like the first couple of days of October, so I have time to get them numbered and get them mailed out to you guys. And why stop there? Because once I get back from New York Comic Con, I'm headed right to TwitchCon. So let's jump ahead just a little bit and I'll show you the whole shebang. Here is Boarding Soon is the name of this new series. Boarding Soon. I know it's hard to see some of the details here because that's a little small. Let me make it a little bigger for you guys. Oh, of course. Yeah. Don't grab the box I want you to. Grab another one. Yeah. Fantastic. There it is. Make that a little bit bigger for you guys, and we'll just move the camera over this way so you can see me on the side there as I talk about it. There we go. So here's Boarding Soon. That's the name of this new line of stuff. And on the left-hand side, you've got your New York Comic-Con boarding pass. If you order from me this week, you'll get the boarding pass physical with sticker, Kiss Cut sticker that comes with it. You'll get the NU logo NFT, and you'll get Hoot in the New York Comic-Con logo inspired Nerds Unite shirt. $8. Get you all that. And that includes the sticker being shipped to you. I put the stamp on it, I put it in an envelope, I send it to you. The whole thing, right? On the far side, a week later when I get back from New York Comic Con, we've got a brand new redesign, because I tried this once before and it didn't look as good as it does now. TwitchCon inspired Nerds Unite logo. The in New York came from somebody in the stream on Friday. I thought that was a wonderful idea. If you buy that one, you'll also get the Nerds Unite NU logo NFT inspired by TwitchCon, or the Twitch logo, and you'll get Hoot in the shirt. That is $8. But if I got a deal for you, if you order them both, pre-order them this week, you'll get both stickers, both NU logos, and both Hoots NFTs for $14. $14. I came up with another concept. You can see there in the center, it's in a light gray because I haven't finished it yet. But I'm gonna add one bonus for anybody that orders the combo. I'm gonna also give you the new Boarding Soon NU logo. I'm still figuring out exactly what to do with that. Let them know what they won. So exactly, Lugs. So anyway, that is available now, and there was a form that I turned off, but the exclamation point Boarding Soon should bring up your link there if you guys want to order from me. Now here's how this works. If you haven't ordered from me before, I would appreciate you taking a moment to consider this. You will fill out the form with your name and delivery information and what you want. You can say I want a one-way New York, I want a one-way San Diego, or I would like a round trip is what I'm calling it, where you get both. And you can order one set, you could order two, you could order three, whatever you want. It's up to you. I've maxed it out at 3 because I didn't think anybody'd go over it, but your call. There will only be 100 of each. That's it. You guys order, you're gonna get not only the bonuses, you're gonna get the low mint numbers. You're gonna get the low mint numbers. So we'll go, if 24 people order from me, by the time I get these in, I will number them all out. I'll take the first 24, and that'll go to you guys. The remainder will go with me to New York Comic Con and then to TwitchCon. So that's your call. Does it come with a mug shot? I don't. Luckily, don't have one of those. So no. Jumps to front. You know what? That's a good idea too. I did get the memo from you guys last week about some magnets, and I'll be looking into that for sure. Maybe even that NU logo with the airplane there could be a nice little bonus. I'll price that out and see. If I can get them pretty cheap, I may include them with these orders. I'm definitely open to suggestions from you guys. Because what's happened here is I love doing this stuff and I wish I could do it like full time, but the sales have really dropped off over the years to where not many people order anymore. So I gotta make sure to make it worthwhile. So if you have any ideas of what we can do to make it a little better, I'm all ears. I'd love to hear from you. Oh, I forgot to explain the whole thing. So you fill out the form, you won't pay right away. What'll happen is you guys fill out the form later this week. I'm gonna go today and Friday telling everybody about it. And then over the weekend, I'll fire up the emails and get them out to you guys. And then you'll have like a week or two to pay me, basically until they arrive. So let's call it a week and a half to send me money via PayPal or Venmo or Cash App, whatever you want. Make it easy on you, as easy as I can. The form works great. That was the other thing I was going to ask is you guys go through it. If there's anything that doesn't make sense, if there's something I need to redo, please let me know. By the way, with the last couple of free NFTs I've given away, people have been putting in .dp addresses. That's a no bueno. You can't get any NFTs from me if you put in a .dp address. You can only get the Funko ones that way. So if you're filling out the form, be sure to read. It is imperative that you read, because if you get it wrong, I'm sad to say, I'm not going to spend the time tracking you down. You just won't get the thing. You won't get the thing. FYI, round trip is listed as both. Wait, did I do the form wrong? That's the way it should work. Round trip is both of them. Does that not make sense, Misty? Or did I do something wrong? I'm not sure what you're telling me there. You have the option of a one-way NU to NYCC. You have a one-way NU to SD, or you have both. You mean, should I also put in the words round trip? RTFD. Read the document? Is that what? Read the free document. That's what you're saying, right, Jumps? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, read the free directions. And by free, I mean... Yeah, gotcha. I'm all about that, yeah. Now, on more than one occasion, I've provided instructions that were either confusing and or I just didn't get it right. That's why I'm asking you guys to help me. Yeah, instead of just make fun of me, which people love to do as well, but we can do both. Any questions, any thoughts, any feedback? I'm going to take this out to Instagram and Twitter and the other socials later today. So anything you could do to tell me, well, that didn't make sense. Thank you, Punk. Appreciate you. If there's any instructions that didn't make sense, anything that needed clarification, that kind of stuff, let me know so I can work on it before I take it out to everybody else. But I appreciate anybody who orders. I appreciate your support. I'm not going to go analyze the information that you guys have filled out right now. Feedback is I love this. Awesome, Walking Miracle. Appreciate you. Well, Allie ordered. Let's go. Thank you, Allie. Yeah, I'm excited to mess around with this concept a little more and take it forward. And magnets. I'll look into magnets. Now, these would be some massive magnets. So maybe I do some smaller size ones for the fridge if you want to collect a bunch. I think that could be fun because at 5x2, that's an awfully big magnet, and that would be super expensive. Cutie Beck, you basically have till I get them in, which is the 1st of October. I would say, remember, you're not paying today. So just do your order. Get what you want. Put the numbers in there. I'll send you an email, and then you can get back with me and go, here's the payment. And the payment's not going to be due till the 1st of October. So better to fill out the form now and not forget. And then you're just waiting on an email, then go, oh, I had the intention of coming back on Friday, and then life gets in the way. Yeah, Misty, I thought about that. I even had the concept. I was thinking in my head, could I make a passport? And then I was like, well, Funko's done that, so that's kind of a ripoff. Chuck, why are you staring at me? I just got to work. I gave you the opportunity to go potty and have a treat and all that, and now you're in here bugging me? You waited till I started working? Watch the paws. That hurts. You got this concept all wrong. I gave you your time. We had snuggles. You can't come in when Daddy's working. Y'all hear? Thanks. I'm telling someone who isn't in here about it, so wanted to make sure I had the... Okay, excellent. Yeah, thank you, Cutie Beck. Yeah, pass that along, too. Like, you're just putting in your pre-order. The payment won't be due till the beginning of October, so you have time to figure it out and do what you want to do. Also, by doing this the way I've done it, it's now very templatized, and it'll be pretty easy for me to make future logos for cons. And then I've already got a lot of the heavy lifting done, which is nice. Yo, thank you, Bubba James. Appreciate you. It is pinned at the top of the Twitch chat, or you can type in !, boarding soon. That's the name of this line, boarding soon, like at the airport. Turns out there's a boarding soon line of clothing I didn't know about for ladies. I found that out on the old Googs. Hey, Pedro, what's up? Almost, Misty. You did what I do far too often, especially over on Twitchy Tides TV. Chuck, I think I'm gonna have to go let the monster out. She didn't take the note right before the stream when I went down specifically to make sure somebody went potty. Oh yeah, she made a move towards the door. Okay, I'll be right back, gang. Here, I'll give you guys a little time to look over this document and look for. I'm looking for critiques or feedback. I'll be right back. Chuck. Didn't get the memo. Didn't understand. All right, I think we got her sorted. She's gonna spend some time outside. But will the flight be on time? Well, this is unfortunate, but if Misty is getting on that flight, it will not be on time. Poor Misty has the worst luck when it comes to airlines, and kudos to her because she flies early for every con, so she always goes out like a day or two early because she knows this BS is gonna happen. I don't know how airlines are still in business. Because we don't have an option. That's why. If they got truly graded on their service and on time, they wouldn't be in business. They'd all be gone. Hey, thank you, Pedro. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. Feel free to tell everybody about it in Priscilla's Discord if you'd like. Also, I don't want to get ahead of myself here. I had a lot of fun designing this, by the way. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but does anybody else see the opportunity here? I got to talk to a certain someone. But boarding soon comes real close to soon-a. Just saying. I gotta talk with somebody. Once I came up with this concept, I'm like, oh, all right. Maybe there's a little something. So I'll be talking to her about that at some point. By the way, I'll be at, not only will I be at New York Comic Con Thursday and Friday, thanks in large part to Priscilla and that giveaway, but two, during TwitchCon, I'm gonna be helping Priscilla a little bit at her booth. She was kind enough to help me get a pass, and I'm gonna be helping her so she can take frequent breaks and stuff like that. So if you do go to TwitchCon, be sure you come by and say hi. Sounds like you're waterboarding Sune. That's no go. No, it doesn't. How rude. There will be no tiny jean shorts. There will be no... Hey, thank you, Bo James. Appreciate you. There'll be none of those shenanigans, Walking Miracle. No. I'm not allowed. I'm a spoken for man. Thank you, Lugs. Appreciate you. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. I was working on another thing that looked like the screen at the airport with all the like the flights being on time and stuff, or not on time, and it just didn't work in the color scheme and the organization here. But I still might share that at some point. All right, I'm gonna take that down to the corner here just so people can ask. I hate jorts. Ugh, so gross. Kelly got me a pair of jean shorts and I wore them the other day and I was like, I don't know. She likes them. She thinks I look cute on them, but. Blues Boy, what if Hoot was carrying a suitcase that said New York Comic-Con sticker on the side, or a limo driver Hoot holding a sign? Oh, I like the idea of holding him having either carrying the suitcase or having like a roller bag with stickers on there for the different cons. That could be fun. Yeah, Chuck, I don't think they were built for most of us. In fact, John Cena could pull off anything, but like, why? Oh, all right, Bubba James. I hope all goes well, my friend. Okay, let me put back up the free NFT for... We got a lot going on today. We'll just stack this over here. I love Meld, but I wish there was a way... Maybe I just don't know how to do it. I wish there was a way to just not have anything that any of the elements of my screen selected, because there's always like a blue box. You have to click somewhere outside of it, but I wish just like after 10 seconds it would just unselect everything. I need to give them that feedback. No, Blues Boy, they were not Daisy Dukes. Oh my God, y'all are so messed up. Why? No one ever wanted to see this in their life, me and Daisy Duke. So Walking Miracle, no, I didn't really spend time on it per se, but I've been looking at the calendar a little bit, and I think we're gonna have to push Extra Life to the weekend of November. Where's the calendar? September, October, November 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I didn't hear anybody say that's a no-go. That's a non-starter. So I think we'll do the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Because I think I do need to go take advantage of that Extra Life invitation I got. I need to get back with that guy pronto and let him know that and get my airfare. Exactly. Chuck gets it. You get it. Hoot and jorts? I wouldn't do that to Hoot. I wouldn't do that to Hoot. Ordered both. Can't wait. These look awesome. Thank you, Geek Drifter. What about a Batman Hoot putting his shirt back with the NU logo and New York skyline? Putting his shirt back? You lost me there, Blues Boy. I'm not quite following. No rush. I just want to block off the... Yeah, I'm with you. I'm 95% sure it'll be the weekend of the 21st through 23rd. Oh, you mean like opening it up like that, Blues Boy? That could be kind of fun. Have I designed one where he's opening his shirt? I don't think I have, but I've talked about at length that I love the idea of if Funko wanted to do something to really truly reward the fans that went to all the cons, they would have a mold where, just like the old Stan Lee pops, where he's opening the shirt and it shows the logo for the con. I think that was one of the funnest things they ever did in terms of, I want to collect this line and I really have to try. I have to go to each one and really try to get them all. I think a lot of we've talked about this so many times, but I think a lot of the fun of going to the conventions for Funko was lost years ago with all the shared exclusives. I like that they're getting back to some more show exclusives now. And hey, this is being said by someone. I'm going to New York Comic Con. I did not get booth access, so I can't even get it. But I still think it's cool. Now, what I think there should have happened is New York Comic Con, or whoever, I think it was them, hosted that registration thing on Friday. The reservations, not registration. The reservations absolutely should have made where you had to log in first and then have a window open, so each person could only have one window open. The way they're doing it basically set it up and made it bot friendly. And I think there's probably a lot of things that could be, with one more step, it could do away with some of the botting. But I don't run these things. I'm not a coder. I don't know for sure. But I hope someone figures it out one day. Justin Clayton says, no more pins, no more Freddy specific pops, except the biddies. Sad, but wallet happy. I can't subscribe to that wallet happy thing. I every once in a while I'll say it. I joke. it's up to us to decide, you know? I mean, I know what you mean by, you don't mean anything intentionally bad, Justin, but there's so many people that, like, when they don't like something, will use that phrase online, while it's safe to say this is crap, and I wish they wouldn't. I hate that phrase because of that. I'm not dogging you. I'm dogging the other people that use it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, bad bloke. Yeah, I run two sets of commercials each show, or 2 sets of commercials each hour during my shows to bring in a little extra money. You can always sub, and I know that costs money, so I get it. If we don't all, I can't sub to every channel I want. But you also don't forget you have the Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you can get 1 free sub a month. Is it !Prime? Brings up the details on that. Maybe you're already using it. Just an idea. Not trying to tell you what to do. Probably didn't hear any of that because of the commercials. I'll wait and say it again. Yeah, bad bloke. I'm sorry that the commercials. I do that a couple segments an hour to make a few extra bucks, and it does make a little bit of money. I'd highly recommend. You always have the sub advantage, or you can do the Amazon Prime if you have that to get 1 free sub a month. Don't forget, you do have that. Beautiful. If you haven't already linked it, you take your Amazon and your Twitch. When you link them together, and this doesn't have to be just yours for Bad Bloke or anybody else. If you have a relative who would never use their Twitch sub that you get 1 free a month from Amazon, get them to log in and make that connection one time and you're good. But you log into that link that I put up in the chat, you log into your Amazon Prime, you put the 2 together, and then you get 1 free a month. Definitely take advantage of that if you can. Nadu said, sorry, I was driving. If you do actual passports or passport holders, I would be down with that so I can travel with Nerds Unite around the world. I think I would love to do that. There's a lot to that. Making the book itself is not bad, but then that means for each con I'd have to make a stamp too, which could be fun. But I feel like Funko did it. You know, do we want to do it again? I guess they're not doing it anymore, right? So I guess could. And I go to enough cons during the year where we could do, 3, 4, 5 opportunities. I thought about a sticker book and making the stamp a sticker that, like, if you bought the passport, it would have a little tiny, as part of it, another area with another kiss cut stamp that you could take and put in your sticker book. A luggage tag. So smart, Justin. So smart. Let me look into luggage tags on the boarding soon thing. This is genius. All right, we magnets, luggage tags. This is brilliant. I can't remember if Printful offers luggage tags, but we can look into it. Oh no, I never thought for a second you mean anything harmful. I just telling you that's where my brain goes with that turn of phrase. I never thought you meant it anyway bad. Punk says luggage tag magnet, so it's proper size and it could still match. Oh, you mean so the magnet looks like a luggage tag, but it's not actually a luggage tag? Be kind of cool if it could be both, but that's a whole, like, why? Why even bother with all that? That's interesting. Nadu said ask Butts on things where they do their luggage tag. Yeah, I need to talk to him anyway. I would love to do something with him. He's been so successful, I don't think he has time to mess with me and my little old project, but you never know. I mean, we've definitely been supportive of him. I would love to do some sort of collab for Extra Life. It's probably too late for this year, but I'll reach out here. Now that this is sorted, next thing for me to focus on is going to be Extra Life. But once I had this in my brain, I was like, I got to do it. I have to do it. What's up, Mandy B? Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's a free NFT tagged up at the top there on YouTube for you. Be sure to grab that up. And on the screen, I just got done explaining the new Nerds Unite Boarding Soon line. And for anybody that orders this week, or really by October 1st, you can get a boarding pass and 2 NFTs for $8. Or you can get the boarding pass for both New York Comic Con and TwitchCon, which would come with 2 full 5x2 boarding passes with a detachable Kiss Cut sticker, 2 logo NFTs, and 2 hoots for $14. Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate it. Right, Justin? I'd be very excited about that. I don't know if you guys saw, but he just celebrated, how many was it? 5,000 or 500? Yeah, 500 unique designs that he's done over the years. He does a new Butts on Things design every Friday, and he makes it look so easy. Like, he just pencil marks, marker, color, done. But I know there's a lot more that goes into it. He's just so incredibly talented and such a nice guy. I'm so glad to see the success he's having. And he's alluded to on his Instagram, because Priscilla told us he's taking a year off of teaching. He's a teacher. He's taking a year off, and I think that's to focus on seeing if he can, this is my guess, to make Butts on Things his full-time job. He's doing really well at San Diego. He's doing really well at Emerald City. He's doing a couple other, I think he just did Rose City. Like, if he does those and then he does a few more, he might be able to make enough where he's making better than he was as a teacher. I think off San Diego Comic-Con alone, he probably did like a third or a half of what he makes in a year as a teacher. That's my guess. All speculation, just a guess. We've never talked in that detail about anything. Yeah, he's just so talented. I want to see good people like him succeed. So, still sad I missed the in and out stuff at SDCC. Now, have you checked his website, Punked? Because some of that stuff did make it to his website. Yeah, let's look real quick. Brian Cook Art, I think, is where he puts it all. There's Brian Cook Illustration. I think that's the same. Shop. It's interesting. Like, I know how this goes because it's really hard to, like, he's Brian Cook Art and he's got the hot dog with the smiley face on it up there in the logo. But then he started doing Butts on Things, and that's become like his whole brand. He's still holding on to Brian Cook, but at this point, it feels like maybe he should just lean into making it all Butts on Things. I don't know. I mean, he's doing way better than I am, so I just need to shut up. But he's got the book, pencil box, kids cards, poker cards, and stickers. There's also an Etsy shop, limited and exclusives. That's where we need to go. And then the merch shop, Oodles of Crap. All right, there we go. We got the Rubik's. We got the Labubuti. There's a luggage tag. And look, he's selling that for $10. So that tells me he could probably get that made for $2 or $3. That's not bad. Lanyards. There's Butts on Things Krispy Kreme. Jolly Butt. That's amazing. There's more luggage tags. Some blind bags. Cauldron. I feel like we're going back in the well, those are SDCC. And some old NYCC stuff. There's Pikachu, Emerald City Comic Con. Back to 2023. Yeah, so maybe those are sold out. Not Lapupu. That's different. That's a different site. What's up, Darth Wacko? How are you, my friend? Yeah, but with his SDCC exclusives, if he doesn't sell out, then he comes and puts them on his website. So that's why I was saying, be sure you look. It doesn't look like he has the Krispy Kreme stuff, but not the repeat it all, but not the in and out stuff. But, you know, oh, wait, there's more here. Oh, this is just shirts and stickers that he produces from, like, a third-party site. Probably from, like, Printful or something kind of like that. Because, look, there's coffee cups. Oh, look at the coffee cup as the butt on the back. That's great. That's so freaking smart. Yeah, but be sure to check his website, and you never know what you might find in there. They said sold out at the booth. His booth was so busy. Well, I know also, though, like, he didn't get all the stuff in. Like, Kelly really wanted the purse charm hanger thing that was Labubu on two sides. Labutt. He didn't have enough at the con. They didn't all get delivered, so then he sold them on his website afterwards, and she scooped it up the day it went on sale. She was so excited about having it. Butts on Wangs. Nadu, that's not a good. Don't say that in the chat. Monster Pete, was that a two-part? I missed the first part. Oh, you mean when do I pay? So the way it works on all my pre-order stuff is you fill out the form, I will send an email to you, and I will most likely start sending the emails this coming weekend, and that'll have payment instructions. It'll give you the links to PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, instructions on how much you owe, how to pay, all that. And then you just pay, and you don't have to follow up via email or anything, because I get notifications. I'll go through and mark as I get the payments. And then if for some reason down the line I'm like, oh, I don't see Pedro's payment, I may send you an email. And if you've already paid, all you gotta do is say I paid via PayPal. It's super simple. I don't like to have to do too much back and forth with people. So like, you fill out the form, I send you an email, you pay, we're done. That's it. It would be nicer if I could just send you to a website and have you order these, but because they're a pre-order, I don't know how many people are going to get. I really can't do that and then run the chance of going over my inventory. So, yeah, no problem, Pedro. No problem. I've been doing that for a while, and it's worked out pretty well. Inevitably, there's two people, almost every single one, that commit to ordering and then never pay, and then so they don't get the stuff, which can be frustrating, but it's not that bad. I've learned to deal with it. All right. I do want to talk about Disney Pinnacle, but before we do that, I have some fun stuff to share on that, by the way. Before we do that, I do want to open. I've been excited about this these finally came in Saturday. Of course, I wanted them to come in on Friday so I could open them on stream, but they finally came in. I'm going to take that stuff off the screen for just a minute on Saturday. And this, I believe, is my Adventure Time stuff. So we'll do an unboxing. Actually, let me take this off the screen too, just in case I decide to make this into a clip or a video after the fact. So we got in the latest Droppp redeemable NFT pops. And what I always like to point out is people get so bent out of shape at Funko because of bad shipping. Stuff like this was not Funko's fault. If you see the outside of a box with ding corners, a ding like this, that is the postal service or the delivery service, and that's who you'd be mad at for that. Funko does a wonderful job of packaging these, and I think even with that, our pop is probably fine. I'm not concerned at all. Yes, these have not been opened, completely sealed. I have not taken a peek at all. For anybody who makes the comments, I wish the NFT pops were real. I wish they weren't just JPEGs. I could download those, all that kind of commentary. We've been playing this game for 4.5 years and having a blast with it. And these are actual redeemable pops when you get a Grail or a Legendary or you complete a royalty set. A lot of the fun that comes in collecting for NFTs is getting these redeemables, but it's not everything, right? It's just a chunk of it. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that just have never chosen to enjoy it. We've been loving it. Thank you, Mocking Lazarus, for the sub. Comic Zombie. All right, let's open up the first one. I love the way they do the packaging on these. You got the little individual sorter. You've got the foam wrap, the foam sheet to keep them from getting scratched because they do have that cool matte finish on the boxes. And the first one up, this is the first time I've seen these in person with the numbers. We finally got it. Here is the royalty of Freddy as Finn. And Proto as, I can't even read that. I don't remember my Adventure Time characters. Jake. Oh, they look so good. We've got, as per usual, and I always point this out, I love the dark boxes with the foil accents for the number and around the edge of the box. But look at that beautiful, reflective, holographic sticker. First time we've ever gotten one of these, and they have the proper number now. We asked for that for years. We finally got it. Droppp started doing it. This is the number of actual pops that were sent out. There could have been a lot more that people completed the royalty set and got the redemption coin, but if they didn't turn it in time, they wouldn't actually receive the physical pop. Out of a potential, on this one, it says, what, 1271? I think originally there could have been as many as 1,800, maybe even over 2,000, but not that many people completed the royalty set. So we have a limited edition 1,271 pieces. I can't believe we finally got it. I'm so excited about that. So master sets or mastery sets is something, but you don't get a physical redeemable or a bonus for completing it. A mastery set is if you complete you get one of each Grail, Legendary, if there's any Ultras, if there's any Mythics, and of course the royalty on each set. You can say, yes, I completed the mastery set on that one, but you don't get any kind of bonus NFT or redeemable for that. Just kind of a bragging right. Yeah, that sticker is gorgeous, and here are our pops. I'll take them out in just a minute, but we got Freddy and Proto. I love they're not attached, So Freddy is the pop, and then we have the little pop buddy, as we used to call them when I worked at Funko. I don't know if there's an official name for him these days, but look at Freddy. So dope. I love it. He's got his little backpack on. Really done well with the style of Adventure Time, but still capturing happy little Freddy there. And then here's little Proto. He's basically like a little bitty pop, or no, like a mystery mini size. It's so amazing. So that might be the tiniest little Proto pop. There is no stand for these, but it looks like, does he stand up good? He's a little wobbly, but he stands up pretty good. Jump says, the packaging is great now. I've had very few issues. I only wish they figured it out earlier. The first year or so of Pops was rough. And you know what? They were essentially a new company, and they didn't, maybe they didn't get the talk from their big brother over at Funko. They did figure it out in time. And, you know, if people had been a bit more chill and a little bit more understanding, then maybe some of the issues we've had wouldn't have been so big. But people are not chill. On the top of the box, just so you see, this is rare that during production you get no kind of rubber marks or anything on that matte finish. That is a beautiful, beautiful pop right there. Love it. So that's one of the 3 I received. I don't remember what all I got for this set. I did not get the Grail. I do remember that. I love that BMO. Such a cool pop. People have been sharing their photos online, and they're just gorgeous with that translucent exterior. I did not get lucky enough to get it, but I did, let's see, I did complete 2 royalty sets. So of the 1,271 pieces in the world, I have 2 of them. Again, with just a minty, fresh top of box. And then I think I did get 1 legendary. Jumps to Frog says, my favorite pop buddy was the Conan as Ant-Man. Oh, I don't know if I've ever seen that in person. All right, the next one I got, it's Trunks. Now, this is interesting, too. So this is a legendary from this set. I did not notice this in the renderings, if you will, the glams, but look at the stickers. The royalty has a blue exterior around the outside, plus it now says royalty. Previous pops did not say that. The legendary, this one has a pink around the outside of the sticker. Love that. And that's 1,287 pieces on that one. Kind of nuts that they got so close. 1,271 and 1,287. Probably, if I'm guessing, this was maybe a 1,300 or 1,400 piece originally. Let's take a look at Pop and Stock's website. And we can get the information on exactly how many of these you could possibly have gotten. This is Adventure Time Series 2. And on his website, we can look and see, if we scroll down here for Adventure Time Series 2, we can look at each of the redeemables. For BMO, there were only 696 redeemed. That was the Grail I was telling you about. That's what it says on the sticker. Freddy and Proto, 1,271. We just saw that Tree Trunks, which is the one I got here, and is the 3rd rarest at 1,287. And then Susan Strong, 1,299. The Lick is Billy, 1,311. But there were possibly 1,330 of these that could have been redeemed after the burn on packs. Now only 1,287 in the world. And let's take a look again, the sides of the box. Look at that. Rare do you have the face of a pop showing out the side, but how cute is that? There's the NFT on the back so you can see. Side, top, another beautiful top. They do some really good work on these. And there's the bottom. And I will open using the trick. Don't let anybody tell you that opening a pop decreases the value. It doesn't. You just have to be careful, and you can put it back right the way you found it. But I use my little handy dandy opener. You could use a credit card, which I wouldn't do it with the raised numbers, but that's your call. An old room key. You slide it in the side of the box right there, and then just pull that corner ever so slightly to yourself. If it doesn't pop up right away, move that over to the other side so that you don't cause any damage. One of those corners is going to open a lot more easily, usually. Sometimes I got to put a little extra work in on it. But I'm not going to damage this box in any way. And then I'm going to be able to take a photo, show it off, put it back in the box. Beautiful. Good to go. There we go. Got it. Oh, man. How fun is this little guy? Tree Trunks got the little picnic basket on the top. There's a little side view. Look at the tail's got a little bow in it. For just the backs. That is an amazing pop and just the happiest little tree trunk buddy. I love it. Again, they captured the style, the Funko style or the Adventure Time artwork style so well. That is so fun. Wait, let me make sure I put them back in there correctly. That is really, really fun. Darth Wacko. Opening the pop voids half of your value instantly. Not financial advice. Not correct either. Look at this. I'm putting it back in the box. It's sealed. The corners are minty. I can enjoy it. Now, I would recommend getting some pop protectors. I just got a new order from Display Geek. Collector protector makes some of the best pop protectors. If you want, you can get the stackers. But honestly, I wouldn't get those unless your pop is worth like a ton of money. I think the pop protectors do a great job. I opt not to get the pop stackers from Funko. You can order them during the checkout process when you're redeeming your pops from the NFTs. They're $8, but I've seen a number of stories of people the damage during them putting it in the pop protector. They're not as careful and it might scratch the side, so I wouldn't recommend it. I think their shipping, as we saw, there was some damage to the exterior of the box, but the pops are all minty. They're beautiful. I don't think there's any reason to pay the extra $8 when you could just put a pop protector on it when you get it. One of the things I like to do is look and see what these are going for in the tertiary market. So the primary market would be when they first come out there, when they first come out and you can buy the packs and you can maybe get it. Secondary market would be the Droppp Marketplace or Atomic Hub, and then the tertiary market would be once we have it in physical form. And eBay is a great place to check. You can check prices like HobbyDB and things like that, but I think the best way to see anything is actual closed, completed, sold listings. So we're going to do Freddy Proto Finn Pop. That should be enough information. You want to put in less info, not more, so that you get more returns. The more words you type in, the fewer returns you're usually going to get. And then we'll come down the left-hand side, and we'll go to sold items. And we'll see that also auctions are for buyers. Buy it now is for sellers, meaning most of the time, an auction is going to go for less than. I said most of the time, not always. Auction, $76. Buy it now, $100. That's a pair of them, I think. Can't tell from the description that easily. Maybe it's just one, 115, 120, 100, 125, 140, 140, 145. This is pretty typical. Pre-sale, which they shouldn't be doing on eBay, but they do. Pre-sales usually go for a little bit more. Then the first ones that hit the market are going to go for a bit more, and then they're going to slowly come down as what we like to call the race to zero. If we look now, I'd figure most of them on the market are probably being listed for between 100 and 125 bucks. And sure enough, if we look, that's about what it is. There's an auction going right now. This is for you. $34 with 5 days and 5 hours left. It'll probably get up there, but it probably won't exceed 115 bucks. So you might want to look. Let's see. Darth Wacko said, the first one I got where I ordered the extra protector came in with a busted case, so I stopped ordering them. Yeah, and if it's bad enough in shipping where the case gets busted, chances are the pop would take damage as well. I've said it many times. You don't even need a protector. You just need good packaging, but the protector would help a little bit. Let's see. Nadu. Oh, we're talking about layoffs. Jumps to Frog says, when are stickers normally applied to pop boxes? For example, Target or special edition stickers at the factory overseas? Are they doing it later? So traditionally it's done at the factory overseas where they're first being assembled. But one thing I learned in my time at Funko was sometimes Funko would make the designs, the artwork for the pops. They'd make a glam, an image like we see on the Droppp website prior to the pack openings. They'd make a glam and they would shop those glams to their retailers. So they'd go to Target and Small Fart and Barnes and Noble and whoever else that they were going to do, Hot Topic, and they'd go, look, we're doing this line. We've got these pops. Would you like to be the retailer for one of them? And then depending on the hierarchy of the retailer they'd pick. So at that time, the factory knew in production, Hot Topic stickers go on these, Barnes and Noble's on these, etc. But sometimes those retailers would either back out or some plans would change. And so once it got to the warehouse here, they would have to re-sticker the pops. But I think 9 times out of 10, it's done overseas. We even, when I worked there, we had to do some re-stickering at the booth because they delivered, or they put the wrong stickers on there that said shared when they weren't actually shared. So we would have to put the proper sticker on. And to be 100%, that is the only time I've ever re-stickered anything. There's some rumor going around I've re-stickered pops. I would never. That's against all of my ethics. I would not do that. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Shep? How are you now? Comic Zombie says Natty was talking about possibly Droppp division getting absorbed into the standard Funko grouping. I mean, it probably has already, but we don't know. It depends on how they do their accounting and what things look like internally. But most companies, when they acquire another company or if 2 companies merge, the benefits for the buyer or both companies is that you can eliminate overlapping jobs, right? So if you, in Funko's case, if you bought Droppp back in the day, first they had a stake in it, then they ended up buying it. They probably had these experts that used to be at Tokenhead, the guys that led the team, and they probably said, we're going to leave you guys alone and let you do your thing, but we'll provide support through marketing and through production and distribution of the pops. Well, now that, unfortunately, and I feel really bad for them, and I hope they're okay, for the guys that got let go, Funko probably is now like, well, we don't have those experts anymore. We want to bring everybody into the fold. So you're probably either going to work at the Funko office or maybe you work remotely, but you answer to somebody different now. I'm guessing. I don't know, but I'm just saying that's typically how things go. I've not spoken with any of the Droppp team. I did send a message to Patrick. I haven't heard back, but I was just like, hey, man, I'm really sorry to hear that your team was let go and that things have changed. And that was it. I wasn't trying to get any info out of them. I wasn't asking for anything. I just wanted to say, hey, you did a great job. I did say that. And thank you. And I'm sorry. Bad Bloke says, ugh, ordered the protectors for all Grail and royalties so far. Fingers crossed they come in undamaged or just come at all. I mean, you'll get your pops. Yeah, there's nothing to make it believe where you wouldn't. There are like 6 people on the internet who love to get a bad photo of a bad, a damaged box or whatever and blow it way out of proportion. We've talked with our audience here so many times and everybody's like, pops came in great. Few people had problems. Funko delivers a new box. Like, there's no reason to believe that they're not getting delivered or that all of them are damaged or they do horrible shipping. That's just something perpetuated by a handful of squeaky wheels. You're going to get your pops, right? And if you don't, you communicate with them and they'll resolve it. It's that simple. The only thing that I heard regularly was them putting it into the protectors got some scratches. They probably got that feedback and they've probably done better. So I wouldn't panic or be too nervous about it. I think everything's going to be fine. I've re-stickered a pop when the sticker fell off. Some of those early Hot Topic stickers. I've had that as well. But recently, I had a few that didn't have the Hot Topic stickers, and I wasn't going to go hunt for them or try to put it on there. I felt like the best bet was just to say I had no sticker. But somebody likes to start rumors, so. Nadu said, I'm going to start and try and get every single physical from the Digital Pop line if the end of Droppp is near, but I am speculating now that Droppp is going to be rebranded to Digital Pop and put it under Funko and run on Funko.com since everything with Droppp and logo is DP and so is Digital Pop. I mean, that's possible. That's possible. I don't think Funko would need to rebrand it necessarily, but if they are going to design the process of the drops and the way you get the pops, and maybe they've listened to the bad info and anger that comes from people on I wish these were real pops, stuff like that, because there's just a lot of, and I don't use this word to call anybody a name, but there is a lot of ignorance, a lack of education on how this thing works. So there are a lot of ignorant comments going around, and I know that word's harsher sounding than it really is. I think Funko could take the opportunity to go, hey, we're gonna do this differently now, and maybe by doing it differently, we get rid of the word dropped. I think this is what you're implying, and go with Digital Pop so that people don't have the bad taste in their mouth or the thought of what Droppp was before. There was nothing wrong with it, but there were a lot of people who made something wrong with it with their words. Walking Miracle said, one new thing Funko is doing is consolidating. Funko Europe is no more, for one thing. People will be able to use Funko.com now instead. Nice. Yeah. That, again, you could probably do away with the overlap in jobs if you had a web design team in Europe and a web design team in the US. Now you can combine those, get rid of your weak links, or maybe over time you remove some of those people that could do other jobs into other positions. Sadly, layoffs seem to be the first thing most companies do because they don't want to deal with the negative backlash from employees that may be forcefully moved to another department or their job is redesigned, reworded what their responsibilities are. They'll just do a layoff and then start over. And I don't believe in that, because in the jobs I've worked in the past, had they come to me before a layoff and said, look, we got tough times. We'd like to repurpose you to do something else that could make the company more money. In every case, I would have been like, let's talk. Let's figure it out. Maybe even a slight pay decrease and a different job role I would have been for. But they don't do it because they're afraid most people will just get angry and defensive and will immediately flip out and cause problems. So they just, let's get rid of somebody. It doesn't make a lot of sense because you're losing all the knowledge, the years of training and the years of experience that these people have that's invaluable for a company. You could keep them, but because of the behavior of so many people, they don't do it. It's a shame. Bad Bloke says, yeah, my proto as Pop came fine, but that was my very first physical Pop. See, I think you're going to be fine, Bad Bloke. I wouldn't listen to all these other horrible stories and assume anything. You're just putting yourself through extra headache for no real reason. And I agree with that. Bad Bloke says, however, their communication or lack thereof is doing them more harm than good. Yeah. The fact that we haven't heard from Droppp is concerning, while at the same time promising. We would rather have an update and know exactly what's going on in the future. But as I talked about the other day, and clearly I talk too much, as I was talking about the other day, I think you guys and a lot of people think these companies know what they're doing. And I don't mean like they're idiots, they have no idea how to handle their business. What I'm saying is they haven't been able to crack the code and figure out what 6 months or a year or 2 years down the road even means, like where they're going. I think because they're a public company and they have to be reactionary and they have to be quick and they have to make profits very quickly to turn the ship around, they aren't looking 6 months or a year or 2 years down the road. They're looking at 6 weeks down the road. How do we pay our bills? How do we pay our people? How do we make a profit so that the stock looks good? Then we'll figure out the rest later. So my guess is a new CEO came in, or someone gave a directive, we have to make some changes. The Droppp division of the company is not as profitable as we'd like to be, or it's become problematic. I mean, who knows? I like the guys there a lot, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. There could have been some conflict between people too. We don't know. I'm not making rumors. I'm just saying these are the kind of things that happen, right? They see an opportunity to go, let's cut expensive payroll. We got these guys who are experts in their industry, and we already have their knowledge. They've worked for us long enough. We already know what they're doing, how they're doing it. We've got other people trained up. Let's axe their salaries, and let's take a beat, and let's discuss it, and let's figure out what's going on, and then we'll tell the world what we're going to do with Droppp or Digital Pop or whatever. I'm not bad-mouthing anybody. That's not part of this process. I'm just saying I've been with enough companies now to know how these things go, and that's very, very possible. Mandy B, going way back to my comment about the exterior of the box, said, yep, once Funko hands it over to the delivery people, it is no longer their fault if it arrives busted. Yet 90% of the comments I see is Funko did a crappy job on shipping, and that is not the case. People. Laney Lane, my BMO has 3 larger bubbles on the sticker. Really bothers me. Laney, you could reach out to Funko and send a photo and tell them that, and they may very well send you a replacement box with the sticker. They're not going to send you the sticker itself, but they would send you a replacement box with the sticker. So what you need to do is take good photos of the box, in the front of the box, send an email to the official email address, which I've forgotten what it is, but it's like, something at Droppp.io or something at Funko.com. You can find it in the notes on their website. And make sure you tell them which pop or pops, specifically the problem, and provide your order number, which you could get from Droppp.io. You can look back at your history, you can get the order number, provide that. They need to know that you purchased it and what the problem is, and have photo evidence, and then they can move forward on processing a replacement box for you if they're willing and able. I believe the customer service team is still in place, so I don't think you'd have a problem doing that. Red Ranger says, and in some positive news, they announced they've sold over 1 billion pops and are hosting a fan event at Hollywood this Friday to celebrate. I saw something about that. Really interesting. Really interesting. We didn't look at the price of both pops. I got on a tangent. Let's look at the other one I got, which is tree trunks. Now, since these are the first ones that have the new stickering on there, I'm hopeful that we'll see a nice extra bump in the values of these, but it's really hard thing to compare apples to apples because you have the different license, you have the mentality of people towards the drop stuff now that there's been these rumors and layoffs and things of that nature. So we don't really know if the stickering has that big of an impact. We could guess it might be related, but... well, yeah, Nadu, from what I said on Friday, they just responded. They haven't sent any additional updates to me, but they did say, hey, here's a number, come by the booth, give us a call. So, the lines of communication are open, which is great. All right, here we go. Tree trunks, 85, 85, 85, 120. But if you look back, this was one of the first ones to hit the market. Those usually go higher. 85 pre-sale. So that pre-sale right there kind of really set the tone. But if we look back at Droppp, why we still have, hopefully this is up for a long time. And if we look at, I can go to mine. We look at tree trunks. I'm going back too far. I'm looking for, where is it? Adventure Time Series 2. We still got a lot of pops to be delivered as this thing comes to a possible end. We don't know for sure. We can click on this one, tree trunks that I got, and we can look back, and we don't get the same data here that we would get on Atomic Hub. We could look there as well, but we can see the highest sale ever of that pop was $54.75 when it was an NFT. We do know that. We know the high sale. That's significantly lower than $85. So if you were willing to learn, you could have bought a pack for $29 for a premium or even $9.99 for a standard. You might have pulled this pop. So you could have turned $10 into $85 real quick, right? Or you might have bought the coin on the secondary market for $55, and now you still have a benefit, an increase in value of up to $85, so a $30 increase. So, for those who had an opinion and let it dictate whether or not they'd get involved, if they really wanted this pop, it's cost them. It's cost them some money. We won't have on here the ability to look up the royalty, but if we go back to Pop & Stock's website, we can see that during the life of the Freddy and Proto, it started on day one, and this is probably what I paid, was $47.26 to complete the royalty, which was selling for what, on average $115 we just saw? Good return, almost triple. It did average though on that secondary market around $80 during its life. Still a good return, 80 when it was an NFT or NFTs that you had to complete. Now 115, good return. So this one's looking pretty good. We've seen some where the value went down, but the Adventure Time Series 2 is looking pretty good. Red Ranger says, plus, these stickers on this set are not too far off. It might not be a big difference. Well, you got to take into account they are off from what the original glams were because 30% burn. So if we go all the way back to the first announcement of Adventure Time, we go to drops, we go down to Adventure Time. That was the first drop of this year. And we look at the glams. The BMO was originally supposed to be $999, and we only ended up with $696. The tree trunks, which I got, was originally $1,900. Is that what I see? $1,900, and now we're looking at $1,287. So that's a significant difference. That is measurable. And then the royalty could have been $2,400, but came down to just over $1,271. Yeah, because Red Ranger, not making fun or anything, but what you were thinking is, if I look at these numbers on Pop and Stock, they're not too far off, but we forget to incorporate the burn. He had already incorporated the burn and what the supply was, and then we got the redeemed, so that takes it down even lower. Correct, Comic Zombie. This sticker on the box for the first time ever with Adventure Time Series 2, is the redeemed number, not the supply. So you had the supply originally, then you had the coins produced, and then you had actually redeemed. Yeah, so what we're looking at would have been $2,400 on that sticker. Now it's $1,271. That should have an impact when a random passerby sees it on a shelf at a convention, or when they go on eBay and they're looking at the listing, because their eyes go to this and they didn't know, as I've called it a million times, the story behind all of it. Yeah, this was a really good win for Funko and Droppp, and unfortunately, we're just starting to see these benefits from it, and some big decisions were made to lay some people off and change what they're doing with Droppp and possibly Digital Pop. So, you know, zero patience, just like their fans. The executives, the decision makers, they don't have the patience to see this thing out for longer. Maybe they already had a lot of patience and they finally had enough. We don't know. We don't know how those conversations went. Yeah, I would have thought that would have been a sellout. I'm with you. Yeah, totally agree, Bad Blow. Huge, huge. Jump says 10 years from now, we'll say, why'd they produce such weird numbers for these? Oh, I'd bet we hear that in a year, Jumps. I bet at a convention, if you see some of these on a shelf at a booth, hang out for a couple of minutes and just see what the conversation is. I love listening to the conversations of people who are just getting into it. When I worked for Funko, before I worked for Funko, when I worked there, and now, if I'm somewhere that has pops and there's a lot of people, I love to hang out and listen to the conversations. There is so much wrong info and wrong assumptions and just wrong period across the board, which all could be, well, not all, a lot could be remedied by marketing and education and just being in constant contact with your fans. But they don't really do that anymore. I'm not dogging them. Just saying it is not happening. It's a fact. The clamshells, wait, are you being sarcastic? Yeah, you're being sarcastic. Stop it, Comic Zombie. Stop it. No sarcasm. Without putting it, you can put a /S if you want, but don't, because what you do, and I've said this a million times, and yet people still do it. You type that in, someone else believes you're real, you're being, not being facetious, and then they start to take it as fact. Don't do that. Nadu, stop it. Jumps to Frog, perks up. Oh boy, do I have a story to tell you. Before we move on, I have a brand new fresh box of protectors that just came in. I'm going to open it and put these babies in there, and then we'll talk Disney Pinnacle. I got 150 new pop protectors. I was holding off to order until there was a sale, and then Display Geek ran it was either 10 or 15% off plus free shipping. So I got 150 protectors, and they came down to like just a hair over $1 a piece, which to me is fantastic. That's what I want to spend on protectors. So now I've been robbing some protectors from my NFTs for a while now to put them on some of my whatnot shipments. So now I can finally go back and get everything properly protected. I need a clamshell for my clamshells. This is Comic Zombie. Everybody needs a blockbuster clamshell for the clamshell. Once again, we take a little something and run with it and make it crazy. You guys are kings at that. Yeah, I gotta get these protected. I got new contacts and I can't see crap up close anymore. I have to be careful I don't end up catching the back edge. I'm not about to start wearing freaking readers. I'm avoiding it like the plague. But I overheard the optometrist tell the guy in front of me, he said every person will eventually need readers. That it just happens. And I guess it happens a lot in your 40s and 50s. Poor display geek can't get the exact measurements for the clamshells. They could, they're not gonna. Bad bloke, yeah, I can't wait for the Thundercats to come in. I got 4 Freddy as Lion-O's. I mean, that is one of the best Freddys ever made. I think I completed 2, maybe 3 royalty sets on that one. I'm with you. Yeah, I would recommend if you guys have pops in your collection, anything worth over, you know, 40, 50 bucks, get yourself some protectors. You don't need stackers for them unless they're super valuable. And if you do get stackers, make sure you get those are the hard ones. Those not the foldy ones like this. There's a difference. Funko actually calls them protectors on their website when you're ordering through Droppp, but they're stackers, not protectors. They got that wrong. Bad terminology. But get I like Collector Protector, which I buy from Display Geek. That's the brand. You also have $7 a pop. Fugitive Toys used to make their own. There's a bunch of people that make their own, but make sure you get, you know, do the research and get good quality ones that aren't going to that the corners are going to be good and protect. Like, I feel confident in doing this once they're in this protector. It's not going to harm it. I would throw this against a wall, but it would bound to bring some other stuff down, and it's going to be fine. It's more than enough protection for a $50 to $100 pop. Once you start getting into a few $100s, you might consider a pop stacker, but I honestly, I don't think they're as necessary as people make them out to be. I'm protector complete. Sean retired on my wallet. Nice, Jumps. You're doing well. He's not retired, but he might one day. He's just living abroad and working remotely. Speaking of glasses, have you seen the new Meta Ray? Oh, I saw those. I would love to. You know, they had the display units at some different retailers. And next time I'm at a mall, if they have those, I want to try them. My last pair were a bust for several reasons. One, the frame. I hated the frames. They look like old lady glasses. 2, the battery life was not good. And 3, no HUD. So even if you could live stream, you had to still hold your phone to read the comments and stuff. And that's not good. Hopefully these, I haven't read into them a lot, but hopefully these have better battery life. Would be really cool if in the battery life, if they had like a really thin cable that you could run to your wallet and put into a battery pack. They need to do that. And that HUD, if I'm going to do a live stream, I just need to be able to at least see the comments. I don't know if that's possible. We'll see. Oh, and the other reason they were a bust is you could only live stream to Instagram. Because they're working with Meta, they wouldn't allow you to live stream to Twitch or to Twitter or any other sites. It had to be Instagram, and that's just not, that didn't work for what I do. I have the new iOS. It's really nice. The glass, iOS 26, I like it. Very, very like snappy. I'm on a 14 Pro Max, and it's very, very snappy. Things seem to be more responsive. I like the way stuff kind of comes onto screen and like expands and bounces. I love that. I think it's really nice. Okay, these are in protectors now. I got to get some good photos or something, but I want to talk Disney Pinnacle, but one other thing. Look what I found over the weekend. We went to Target. And I love the Biddy Pop line. I have since its inception. The concept of it is great. I'm really glad that it's caught on with fans. But once again, I'm confused by something. I found these in the wild. I wouldn't have thought twice about it, but there's a Chase sticker on there. So they have these, but then they also have some lines where it's 3 showing and then a blind blacked out last slot. So you have to open it to find out what you got. Why is this a Chase box exactly? Can anybody explain that to me? Newer ones have the Chase shown. I don't know. If you look there are 4 different packs. The Chase boxes come later? don't get it. Yeah, they had the hidden one before. So are you telling me that every single box of this produced has a chase at the end? They're all chases? Or is there another one that doesn't have the chase that has 4 different Spideys across there? Every box has a chase. So I didn't get anything special here. I thought I had found something special. Still got them at retail, and they're cool. That's weird. I don't get that at all. That is a bit misleading, considering their normal practices of how chase stickers or stamps go. They started doing that later. The first ones had the hit. Yeah, I knew that. Could the 4th box be a chase when it was a full-size pop? I don't know what that means. Yeah, oh, it shows on the back the rarity. Oh, can I not see it because of my freaking eyes? 1 in 6, 1 in 6, 1 in 3, 1 in 3. Oh, I got the 2 1 of 3s. So there are tougher to get sets, but there's no duplication of characters. So the Green Goblin is only available in the box that's a 1 in 6 chance. So wait a minute. So that's if you have 1 in 6, 1 in 6, 1 in 3, 1 in 3. That math don't math. Does it? What, wouldn't there have to be some regulars then that don't have a chase? No, without knowing it, I got the ones that were less rare. I got the 1 in 3, not the 1 in 6. Yeah, I wish I'd gotten the 1 in 6 now. This is very confusing. I don't understand this. Jason says, like the 4th slot for Stranger Things is 11 with Eggos without the wig, so it is the original chase figure. Yeah, but you said full-size pops. That's why I was confused. All boxes have a chase. Which one is unknown? Well, that's not true. It's right there. I think they just put chase stickers on every box because there's a chase to get in every box. See, that's what I'm saying, Shep. I don't understand it. In my opinion, and that ain't worth much. In my opinion, if it has a chase sticker on there, that means this box should have been 1 out of every 6 or whatever they dictate to get it. Or that chase should be over that last slot only to indicate that that's a chase. But that is not, that doesn't make any sense to me. I bought it reluctantly and honestly may take it back now because I was unsure and I wanted to see if I could find an answer. That's exactly what it is. Every single box of a master case said chase. Well, I normally wouldn't badmouth anybody, but that's some bullshit. That's stupid. If you search that Spider-Man in the 4th slot, was it an original chase when it was a full-size figure? Oh, I see what you're saying there, Jason. I see what you're saying now. I don't know the answer to that. But Tanner says it's not that. I see where you were going, and there's a thought process there I like. But if you're going to do that, I think you put a tiny chase sticker on the pop as well, on the biddy pop. The 4th biddy is random. It is a chase. Which one is the well, no, but that's not true because hold on. Yeah, no. Look at the layout of this on the back there. So the 3rd row from the top or 2nd from the bottom, we've got a Venomized, then an Anti-Venom, then a Venom, and then a black and white Spidey suit, right? It says 1 in 3. But if you look on the front, that's exactly what I got, that lineup. Venomized, Anti-Venom, She-Venom, Spider-Man in the black and white suit. So what's shown on the back is exactly what every set is. Let's double check that theory. Oh, my theory's crap. You were right, Chuck. My theory is crap. Because in this one, I also got the same first 3 and then a different one at the end. So Chuck, I stand corrected. You are correct. I am sorry. I looked at this so many times already and I did not realize that I had the same first 3 pops. That's dumb. This should not be this confusing. This should not be this confusing. I don't understand the thought process behind it. I don't like it. And I might take them back. Or I might use them for giveaways. But they were $14.99 each. So, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. Mandy says, yep, I'm currently wearing readers and I'm only 47. Dang it. Take them back. Yep. Shep, I can't think of any other reason you would do that in the space that the sticker is featured. If you put the chase over this, or like literally the cardboard kind of had a little window out and the chase sticker was directly above, directly below, then that indicates that's a chase. But with the chase sticker where it's at, it indicates the box is a chase, not that the final slot is a chase. And what does it say over there? 4-pack, and then in other languages. But it says some stuff just below that. I don't know if any of that right below the 4-pack there, if that says anything helpful. I can't read it even enlarged on the screen. I bought one because I wanted Spider-Man 2099, but I used hot cash and didn't pay full price. Let me see if I take a photo of this. Can I then zoom in? I hate this. I hate the fact that I can't see crap up close. I take my contacts out when I'm doing work around here, and then I can see everything fine. But oh, okay, it just says 4-piece vinyl collectibles, 1-piece stacking shelf. Nothing on here indicates why that's a chase. It makes no sense. Darth Wyko, I really thought they revealed the 4th Bitty Pop was weird. I didn't understand why it's a chase, and then it's really the same setup as the regular Bitty Pops. Yeah. So it made perfect sense to somebody, but I don't think it's the approach. I hope they got that feedback. And Darth Wyko, I started using readers this year, actually. I lived my whole life with better than perfect vision and could still see a distance better than most, but reading my phone is all of a sudden a problem. Now, I'm lucky in that I can still, if I hold my phone out that far, I can read it. But, and if I take my contacts out, I can be right up here and I can read it just fine. So having the contacts to adjust my distance vision has jacked up my close-up vision. But it wasn't always the case. I used to be able to still, with my contacts in, hold my phone up close and read it. I did see a video the other day about a guy, an eye doctor or optometrist, who said you can strengthen your eyes and make your vision better. And he had a trick. He called it like the bathroom trick. It doesn't sound right when I say it like that. But you could, if you brought your phone up to the distance where you could read it, and you focused on it, and then you focused on a spot on the wall, and then you brought it back, that over time you kept doing that, refocusing, you could eventually strengthen your eyes to be able to read up close again. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, Darth Wyko, me either, but I also don't. I hate the feeling of glasses on my face. I hate it with a passion. And if I put those readers on and sit here, which I've done a couple of times to try it, the second I take them off, it is like vertigo. I'm like, oh, like all over the place. I can't focus. It gives me a headache. Like, it's not worth it. Hear the revenge. Subscribe with Prime. Happy NFTuesday. Okay, so a little recap, and then we'll talk some Disney Pinnacle. But for those of you who weren't here, we, of course, have a free NFT for you guys today. Be sure you fill out the form, no.dp addresses. It says it in the form multiple times, but if you give me a .dp address, I can't send the NFT there. Therefore, I don't bother. Therefore, you don't get it. I will not be sending up follow DMs or emails or calling you to go, hey, what's your .wham address? Or your wax wallet. If you give me a .dp, I just delete the line and I move on. So be sure you read the instructions, no .dp addresses, and you'll get this afternoon or tomorrow. It's based on Marvel Zombies, which starts tomorrow. I don't know if the whole series is out tomorrow, but I'm very excited about it. That trailer looked dope for this. I'm super excited. 2, I revealed the new exclusives that I'm working on. I got a whole new line that I'm calling Boarding Soon. And I can make this a little bit bigger and I'll give the short version of it. But basically what I've done is I took the logo that I created for New York Comic Con. I started thinking on this about like, hey, what can I do that's fun to not only commemorate what the cons for the people that go, but also the people that just want to follow along and feel like, you know, hey, I was a part of it, to get you stickers. So what I did, instead of just making it a standard sticker I'd hand out, it is now a kiss cut sticker, similar to how I did my Batman one, where you could pull the Batman sticker off and you're left with a backer that still had some information. These are, I'm calling them boarding passes. They're going to be 5 inches wide by 2 inches tall. Therefore, that logo, Positivity Nerds Unite, done in the style of New York Comic Con's logo, will probably be about 3 inches wide, maybe a little over. I didn't do the exact math. And then the TwitchCon one will be like 1.5 inches tall and probably closer to 2.5 inches wide. So a little smaller than my standard stickers. But what you have here is a full-blown collectible. It'll be numbered on the front. I'll number them on the front. There's only going to be 100 of each. And what I'm doing is a pre-order sale for you guys first. I'll put it out on Instagram and Twitter later today. But basically, if you pre-order, you can buy the New York Comic Con one for $8. You could buy the San Diego TwitchCon one on the far side with the purple for $8. And if you buy either one, you get the boarding pass, you get the logo as an NFT, and you get Hoot in the shirt as an NFT. Or if you want to support me by buying both, you can buy what I'm calling the round trip bundle. That's $14, and you get everything shown here. 1 New York, 1 TwitchCon. 1 New York, 1 TwitchCon logo. 1 New York Hoot shirt, 1 TwitchCon Hoot shirt. And guaranteed, however many your order is part of the pre-order, you guys get the low mint numbers. I will not be carrying mint number 1 to New York Comic Con or to TwitchCon with me. You guys get the low mint numbers. The people who get them at the cons will not get the logo or the Hoot. If they wanted those, I could make them available to purchase separately, but it's just for you guys. I wanted to make something that I could take to the cons, but also something that would reward you guys for being supportive and helping me on my streaming and content creation journey. So there it is. If you're interested, it's pinned at the top of Twitch, and I put it in. No, I never did put this all the way into. Hey, Priscilla, how are you now? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You get a look at my first new approach to sticker exclusives. I'm going to pin this over on YouTube as well. And you did well. I've gone over it once already, Priscilla, but still, you're part of the early arrivals. You're part of the early gang. So if you're interested in one of the sets or both sets, now's the time to jump on it. Like I said, I'm keeping back. You guys are the only ones that are going to get the NFT logos or the Hoots. And you're going to get the low mint numbers. That's my bonus to you. Plus, if you order both, if you order the bundle, there's a logo in the center that I have in light gray because I haven't really finished it, but it's going to be kind of the boarding soon logo for all future. Like, do this at Emerald City and San Diego next year and so on and so on. And I'm having Vinyl Disorder do the printing. I forgot to mention this. Priscilla was right on the money. I reached out to him yesterday. I gave them the info. They gave me a discount for ordering multiple different designs. And immediately their first email was, "Hey, Sully, thanks for getting back to us," or "Thanks for coming back." Like, they remembered me. They had all my delivery address info. Like, they do it right. If anybody was wondering, a little update, Vinyl Disorder stickers, that's what I did these sticker sheets on. Kelly was just commenting this morning, look how clean these stickers still are. I've had these on my phone since July, beginning of July. And they have not come up. No corners have come up at all. They're not dirty around the edges. Like, they are still like the day I put them on there. The quality is fantastic. How about some TSA inspiration? You can have a friend pat you down if you'd like. Won't be me. If you need that TSA inspiration, you could just walk through a doorway and have a friend pat you down when you open the envelope. Quick drop talk, says Darth Wacko. I just scored the legendary Wonder Man for just $13. Wow. So inexpensive. I haven't really looked at the pricing in the last couple of days to see if it's up or down. But you keep an eye on it, because a lot of people have just given up and walked away. So fresh and so clean. Okay, I'm happy to talk more about Droppp. Happy to talk more about the free NFT for today. And the boarding passes, if anybody has any questions. But I wanted to segue over into some Disney Pinnacle talk. Friday, we talked about it a bit. They had another sale over the weekend, a marketplace event where you could buy. For anybody who doesn't know, the quick version is Disney Pinnacle is Disney enamel pins digital. So they are NFTs. They won't call them that because, that upsets too many delicate souls in the world. But Disney Pinnacle is digital enamel pins, and they look phenomenal. They look so good. And they're very low numbers on most of these right now. If you look at when they do the full-blown exclusives, like they did with Cars Volume 2 last week, max pieces was 333. And I got one. I got Lightning McQueen max size supply 333 in the world. There are some open editions and starter editions like this Millennium Falcon, like BB-8 here, where they have it open, the sales for a while. It's basically like print on demand. They may have them open for a few weeks. And the supply will be bigger. But we're still so early into this. Like, I honestly feel like right now, scooping these up at the prices they're at is kind of silly, stupid. Like, they're gonna go up, right? Assuming they keep with it, which I don't know why they wouldn't. Top Shot's been doing it. Dapper's been doing it with Top Shot for years now. This is Disney. It's getting Disney backing. It's getting Disney advertising. Like, it's the writing's on the wall for it to be successful, is what I'm saying. Is it a guarantee? No. Don't spend money you don't have, but have fun with it and use what you know from the Funko NFTs and apply it here. A lot of what we learned before applies here. There's a few nuances, a few different things. We're still learning, but I think it's a lot of fun, and I love looking at these, especially on my phone. The experience online is not as good on the website, on a browser. In the phone is fantastic. A couple comments, let's see. Darth Wacko, glad you explained the boarding pass again. I missed it earlier. Long story short, I'm in. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Darth Wacko. Misty said, Sully, Disney pins that are selling for big bucks are the LEs that are being sold by Disney. Yes, Misty. So the way I have come to look at it, I've still been forming this in my head and figuring it all out. The darker the background on these, notice this is a light blue or purplish, a little bit darker, a lot darker. The darker the background, the more rare they are, is what it really comes down to, it seems like. The light backgrounds are open edition, meaning they're gonna be available for a certain amount of time, but could be days or weeks, maybe even a month. The starter edition, they're usually sold in multi-packs and they cost a little bit more money. So like I got Mater and Doc Hudson and Lightning McQueen, this version, from buying a multi-pack, which was still, more than $5.95. The limited edition means it's like pre-minted. They only made so many. They sold it until it sold out, which in this case, I think 3 sales in a row, they've sold out in under 10 minutes of their entire stock, gone. And they're not going to print more. If you click into one of these and you read these little sticker call out things where it says about this pin, I don't know what you want to call these, badges. Let's call them badges. Limited edition, and if you hover over there or click on it, you get a little more of a description. And it says here, each limited edition digital pop in this set has a max count of 333, except for the Chaser, which had a max mint of 299. The Chaser is marked with a crown icon on its pin details page. Good job on them for these little hover overs are really, really helpful in educating me. I've learned a lot from them. Single printing, hover over that. As a single printing, no more of this digital pin will ever be minted. It is a one and done. They will not be making any more, and there are only 333 in the world. I got serial number 105. That's another thing you can look at, Misty, or anybody who's interested. If you see it with a serial number, chances are it has a much higher likelihood of increasing in value because it's limited and it's serial numbered. And if you're lucky enough to pull a serial number 1, some of those sales have been very, very high, into the thousands of dollars for limited edition serial number 1s. Even a serial number 2 is done really good. How do we know this? If we come back out to Twitter, there is a Pinnacle bot. It had some shenanigans on Friday going on with the account had been flagged as, I don't remember what the wording was, but you could just click on it, you could still see the details. This is a bot that's looking at the sales because this is all on the Flow blockchain. This is on a blockchain like Funko was on Wax. Pinnacle bot is on Flow. And so someone built a utility that watches all the sales, and if there's ever a sale of over $200 for a Disney Pinnacle item, it gets a tweet. I find this fascinating. It's so smart. The biggest sale so far was a 101 Star Wars pin that sold for $30,000. We went through the whole thing trying to get keys, trying to get this. None of our community was lucky enough to get it. This sold, in my opinion, far too low. I think it will eventually resell for a lot more money. We'll see how that goes. I don't have the money to invest and try, or I might. here we go. The quick things to take away from these are, if it has a serial number, that means it was limited, and that's the serial number on it. So this genie, there were only 299 of the world. This was number 175. It sold for $200, 205. This Rose in the Disney Treasures animation thing, 333 max mint. They like that number. This was serial number 281, sold for $475. For whatever reason, people loved this series. Here's in Mr. Incredible, mint 92 out of an edition size of 399 or 398, sold for $550. And you can keep scrolling and get a quick idea. This all happened over the weekend, just yesterday. $245 for this mint 121. $335 for this mint 179. $753 for this serial number 1. See? Big jump. $290 for this Donald Duck serial number 112. $469 for serial number 262. $1,190. This genie lamp has been repeatedly one of the highest sellers. I'm not sure why this one specifically has done so well. $1,190. There are 299 of these in the world, and this is one of the last serial numbers, 294. Keep going. 230, 225, 275, 499. Another one of those in the magic ball, the crystal ball, mint 284, sold for $500, and so on and so on and so on. If you look at all these numbers, they're going for big bucks. Not all are thousands of dollars yet. This is early days. Most people don't know Disney Pinnacle exists. They don't know what to make of it. They haven't bought into it literally or even, emotionally. They're not okay with it yet because they're still seeing this as just a digital collectible, and that's stupid. But there's a lot of people in this world that are starting to get into it, and I can't think of a better lineup of licenses than Disney and limited edition print runs of under 500, under 300, like stupid numbers are possible in the future if this takes off and continues to rise up. And it has. If you look at sales, they have been going up repeatedly. More people coming into the fold, more people trying to invest in this for long term. Been a lot of sales. Let me read a couple of comments real quick. Poppin' Stock says, I bought the $1 pins on secondary this weekend. That's all I can afford. There's something there too, Poppin' Stock. Some of those are still limited to under 3,000 pieces, under 2,000 pieces, some even under 1,000 pieces, going for $1 on the secondary market. Eventually, that number becomes a very small number in relation to what they'll be making. Think about the early days of Funko when there were LE12s and LE24s and LE48s and 96s at the cons. Those went for hundreds of dollars. Now they go for thousands of dollars because Funko makes more and more and more fans come on board, more people get into it, etc., etc. I thought I saw a question. Have I done a YouTube video? No, I should. Punk says, do they do anything with the parks? My brother collects and trades at the parks. Seems like that would be popular. So as far as I know, to date, the answer is no. But if you dig deep, and I have been doing the research over the last couple of years, the guy who's in charge of the Disney parks, I forgot his name, but he's been in many interviews. He talked about there is a partnership between the Disney and Epic Games that makes Fortnite. As they build out their new parks, like going to Dubai, they promised a park. As they're rebuilding out parts of parks, they are starting to integrate, and I forget the exact wording he used, but they're going to start integrating things that will give you the ability to straddle the line between the digital world and the physical world. He didn't flat out say eventually you'll be able to claim a digital thing, which could be a Pinnacle pin or a skin in Fortnite or in this new Epic game world thing they're building. But he alluded to the fact that they're figuring it out. Again, these companies don't all know what they're doing, right? They're figuring it out. They're building in the technology that will allow them to figure it out. I could easily see the parks doing, hey, come on Halloween and do the Haunted Mansion and use your park hopper ticket that's digital. I think everybody has to use a digital ticket these days. And if you ride the ride, you'll get a commemorative thing that says you rode the ride that night. And there will be different varying rarities. So everybody gets a guaranteed of a common or better. You could get a common and there's 100,000 of those. There wouldn't be that many in one night, but however many. Maybe there's a digital display version or a gold version or a silver or even a one of one for people coming in. That would push people to go to the parks and visit those rides and stuff, right? Or vice versa. What if you already had a really cool pin and going to certain rides on certain dates, you could scan it and that would give you front of the line access. Like that gives you a fast pass immediately for just being a holder of a pin or another kind of NFT. The possibilities are limitless if they build the technology in and they can figure out how to market it and make more money off of it. Imagine a fast pass that you could buy as a digital enamel pin with unlimited uses on a night for that one person. How much is that worth? They're already charging people how much for an additional upgrade to get fast passes? Like, possibilities are limitless. Jason says it could be similar to Super Mario World with the magic bands that give you the coins to your Nintendo account. Exactly. What if you could go earn, they wouldn't call them Dapper Bucks, but if you could earn, Mickey Ears points that could be used, if you get enough of them, you could purchase an NFT from a market. Like only for people that went to the parks, they could do that. Well, Nadu, that's what I was alluding to. They haven't said they're going to integrate Fortnite into the parks. Epic is working with Funko to build something new. Doesn't necessarily mean Fortnite's going to be involved at all. Epic is a much bigger company that owns Fortnite and Fall Guys and Rocket League. They have the technology side of things and the gaming side of things. And Disney would be smart to work with them to figure out how to gamify an online experience for Disney that could include your shopping and the way you consume your movies and your television shows and Disney Plus and Disney Pinnacle and Fortnite skins and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're building out an infrastructure for something much larger. And I don't think they know fully what it is yet, but they're working on it now. The lines would be super long, but that would be cool. Well, they'd be super long if you were giving away a digital thing and enough people cared. But as far as if you're holding the digital thing and that gets you a fast pass, there may only be 500 of that pin in the world. So it's not really going to impact your park too much. Because not all 500 people are going to make it to the park in a given night. At most, you might have 200, and even that's a stretch. Nadu said you did mention the other day that NFL tickets are going to become digital. So yeah, as a little bit of a segue, that's a good call, Nadu. This tweet that I shared the other day. Look at this. Week 1 commemorative ticket and moment. NFL All Day, which is also run by Dapper Labs, by the way, has partnered with several clubs, including the New England Patriots, Cincinnati Bengals, Houston Texans, and Jacksonville Jaguars, to distribute free digital collectibles captured from live games attended. So it's not just a commemorative ticket. It is a commemorative ticket and a highlighted moment from the game, a la an NBA Top Shots. By going to the game, having spent your hard-earned money on a very expensive ticket, afterwards, some sort of redemption process, probably where you have to log into an app and put in your ticket number, scan the barcode on your ticket, etc., etc. We don't know exactly how it works. It works with Ticketmaster, unfortunately. They got in bed with the devil, but, they had to do it for this. Attending select games this season will earn you an exclusive NFL 2024 season virtual commemorative ticket that includes a complimentary claim for an NFL all-day moment from that exact game. That is so freaking cool and something I've talked about a lot. It's a shame that it's not with the full NFL, that it's only with certain teams. But maybe there's a reason why only those teams could participate. Maybe it has to do with something that has to be done at the parks when your ticket's scanned, or I don't know. But I think it's really, really smart and something I've been talking about for a long time. How cool would it be if you're like a season ticket holder or a big fan of a team and you can now open up your wallet and you can see all your tickets from the games you've been to? I would 100% do that. I would claim those in a heartbeat. The question is that integration enough to move the needle to sell tickets to games or to get people to actually use tickets for the games? A lot of empty seats might be filled if people were going to get something that they can turn and sell on a secondary market. I'm not going to buy the ticket somebody else used, but There you go. See, Shep? Or I might buy the moment. What if the moment was like CJ Stroud when he first came into the league and he played his first game as a Texan and we got his first completed pass or his first touchdown? That becomes a rookie card. And we all know that sports cards are absolutely dominating right now in huge sales. Imagine some of those NBA Top Shots have sold for tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. You went to a game, you were there for a big moment. Now you've got this thing that you can sell in a secondary market. It is genius. It is so smart, especially with the cost of going to live events these days, because it's getting more and more expensive to go to any kind of live event. I'm with you, Nadu. Punk says, I mean, if you already have the ticket on your phone to get in, might as well get something cool out of it. Agreed. The Panini blockchain with NFL has been doing crazy numbers as well. That is absolutely true. I really want to get into the Panini stuff. I looked at it a little bit, but I'm kind of holding off as I research. If that's the case, everyone in Chicago would be going to every Bulls game just to get every Jordan digital moment. I mean, he's not playing, so I don't know what kind of digital moments there would be. But if there were, like now you would have Victor Wembanyama for the Spurs, or, I mean, there's a number of guys in the NFL or in the NBA, but the same in the NFL where new rookies, records broken. What if, Rodgers fans in Pittsburgh are there to see him claim, to throw his, I don't know how many touchdowns he's thrown, 3,000th touchdown or whatever the crazy number it's got to be. That could be a moment. Those, if there's a secondary market and people want to buy those, there is some value there, right? It's supply and demand. Make the supply, see if there's the demand. I think it's brilliant. And I could see, like, I would love to ask, I'm trying to figure out what question I'll ask Gary Vee when I get to meet him at New York Comic Con. He's a giant Jets fan. He's always said he's going to buy the Jets one day. If he buys the Jets one day, you best believe he's going to be one of the first people to do something like this. But before he even buys the team, he could very much have they could be a V Friends night at the ballpark, at the stadium. And if you go that night to go see the Jets play, they're not on this list, but they could be added. You go see the Jets play and you're going to get not only your ticket, a commemorative ticket, but also maybe a V Friends NFT and a moment. And maybe they're all branded V Friends. V Friends is taking off right now. That could instantly make your $150 ticket that you used for the game. You get the digital thing, and that thing sells for $500. I mean, what a utility! What an amazing thing to provide you for going to the games. And it might be enough to sell out those stadiums and up the ticket price over time. That would be cool, Shep. That would be super cool, and he could do it at some point soon. Yeah, he's making that money hand over fist. I saw a title the other day on a clip for him say Gary Vee has invented the print your own money hack or something like that. I forget what it was alluding to exactly, but I thought it was pretty funny. Red Ranger, imagine 150-year-old cybernetic Rodgers throwing his 3,000th TD. That would absolutely be a moment. I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible. But I digress. Back to the Disney Pinnacle thing. So you guys were with me when I first found that site that shows you the value in previous sales. Yeah, I see that too, Shep. But I found this last week or a couple weeks ago, and unfortunately, the site has this right now. This deployment is temporarily paused. This was the pop-in stock of the Disney Pinnacle universe at this pinnacle-dashboard.vercel.app. And I'll give you this URL again because this is another cool piece of information I have regarding Disney Pinnacle. I was really bummed to see that this site was down, right? So I went on a little investigation and I found out, ironically, this guy, Diamond NFL, it says here he's a blockchain analyst and a builder on the Flow blockchain. I noticed that he is the guy that's putting out these marketplace updates. For instance, we'll look at all the numbers on this, but for this past weekend, total sales of all the Disney Pinnacle pins, how many people, how many wallets, top sales, etc. I messaged him and I said, dude, are you the guy that built this website? And if so, please tell me it's not down forever. And he got back to me almost instantly. And he said, yes, I built that site. Very excited about it. He said, I only had so much bandwidth provided a month under the contract that I had, and the last few weekends for Disney Pinnacle have basically used up all that bandwidth, used it up in one weekend that I had for a month. I'm retooling it, and it will be back soon. That tells me a lot. One, cool. He also said, if there's any certain information you need, let me know. So if we actually came up with, like, I could ask him, hey, can you make me a Sully chart that tracks all the Sully pins specifically and gives me updates? I guess I could ask for it. I don't know. He'd probably go, well, I'm not going to build that. That's stupid. But I have an open dialogue with this guy now. He said, you catch that part about there's a whole lot of activity, and it kind of broke his site? That tells you how busy it's getting. See, Pop and Stock, Flovana is solid. It has all the... I looked at it, and it baked my noodle. I need you to do a live and tell us all how to use it. I couldn't figure it out. It was way too complicated. His site was super, super easy. Maybe I'm just dumb, and I need more time with Flovana to really fully embrace it. I also couldn't even tell if those were only sales on the Flow blockchain for pins that have been exported out of Disney Pinnacle and the Dapper ecosystem, or if it was for everything, including those. I couldn't figure out how to read it. Maybe I'm just dumb. But one, big fan of this guy's already. This is the Pop and Stock of the Flow universe for right now. Maybe our Pop and Stock becomes the Pop and Stock of the Flow universe. But look at this from the weekend. And I don't have it next to me to compare to the previous weekend. I feel like it's in the ballpark. So every weekend now, the marketplace is open from Friday to Sunday. The trading is available Monday through Thursday. Eventually it's going to be trading's always available and the marketplace is always available. They're figuring it out. They're working it out. We're early stages here. But over the weekend, so just the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, and not full days. It's really 3 days. 4,300 transactions, I'm rounding, $105,000 in sales, 300 unique buyers, and 333 unique sales wallets. So more people had wallets that sold. Some of those 306 bought multiple purchases. But if we do the math on this, 104,627 divided by 4271. The average sales price of an NFT on their secondary market was $24.50. Some are hundreds and thousands of dollars, some are $1, but the average sale per item, $24.50. I don't know what that tells you, but that's interesting data. Also, Cars 2, specifically, that drop that went out last week, limited edition, there were $16,000 in sales, 248 pins sold. You could do the math and get the average on that. It's probably somewhere in the ballpark of $30. Chaser Shoe Todoroki averaged $91.19 over 58 total sales. That was the Chaser of the Cars Volume 2. There were only 299 of those. And even though the difference, 299 to 333, very small difference in the number of produced, but because that's a Chaser, the average selling price was $91 versus the others was probably around $30. Good thing to learn. Good thing to know. Getting the Chaser, which I got for the Monsters Inc. Scream canister, I got the Chaser. The average sales on that are over $200. Overall, you could purchase the complete set under the retail cost during this event. So if you wanted to complete that set, you could have bought them all up on the secondary market. What that tells me is that license wasn't as popular, it didn't sell as well, but also with 58 total sales, that means a lot of people wanted to complete the sets. So the people who got extras were selling to buy what they needed and shoring things up to complete their sets. I would imagine in future weekends, those same Cars 2 Volume 1 NFTs will go for more because there will be less that will be available to change hands. Top buyers, so money spent by individuals. This guy, Board Clint, spent nearly $9,400 and he made 162 purchases. Average sales $58 a piece. I wish we could look at Board Clint's wallet. Maybe I'll try to get his trade link so I can see what he's got. He bought 162 pins. Who is this guy? What does he know? And how hard does he believe in all this? Like, I would love to find out if that guy's producing some content. I want to hear what he's got to say. What, right, Gornographic? Jerry 3 bought 112 pins for over $6,000. KG Beast 56 pins, $5,800. Dr. Chad $5,800. Rogue 1992 $4,600. Those are just the top 5 people. That's a lot of money. 15, 20, 25, nearly $30,000 between 5 people spent on the market. It could be Collector Clint's brother. Oh, okay. Poppin' Stock says Board Clint is very active in the Discord, very easy to reach out to. Okay, good to know. Thank you. Rogue spending $200 average. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. He bought some big ticket ones. Exactly. Top sellers, so individual sales, or no, sales by someone. This Darth Barthok sold 195 pins for $4,300. Mr. Scoggins, 133 items for $4,000, and so on and so on. You guys can read this. I find the numbers fascinating. That's what led me to really start loving Poppin' Stock's website and to feel like I had a better understanding of Funko NFTs and stuff. I think the numbers tell the story, you know? It's very, very interesting. People definitely spend with their heart for a lot of these, the things that they love, the licenses that they're most familiar with, their favorite movie, whatever. But there's some people in here that are spending as an investment. I can't say this is an investment. I can't provide investment advice, financial advice, but there's some people in there that are indicating they think their big times are to come. They're probably not just collectors. I bet there's some overlap between most purchased and eventually most sold. We'll see. Poppin' Stock says Board Clint also gives out NFT to newcomers in the Discord, so he seems to be very generous with the community. He gave me 4 to 5 pins to start. No way, Poppin' Stock. There's a good reason to go in and use the Discord if you're so inclined. What a nice person. Do we know if Board Clint might work for one of these companies? We don't know. The Disney Pinnacle Discord, of course, Darth Wacko. There is a Discord for Disney Pinnacle. If you go to, if you look them up on Twitter, I think you might even see a link for it. People, Disney Pinnacle, what is this promo? Oh, cool. There's the link to if you have Disney Plus to get your free pin every month. Remember, you get 1 free pin per month. Take advantage of that. So they don't have their Discord here, but I've seen it posted quite a bit, so that you can go and see the Discord and be a part of it. Are you, Darth Wacko? Yeah, well, you got, I mean, that's why I don't like Discord, because you got to be active. But if you have time to be active, go for it. So again, right now we're oh, look, all the completed sets that people had. This is fun. If they said share your photo of you with your graffiti or your confetti, because if you complete a set, you get the confetti. And wow, did you see that one? Holy shnikes. Where'd it go? Somebody had a whole bunch of completed sets. I lost it. Where'd it go? I'll let it play again. Oh, somebody completed the Monsters Inc. one I want to complete. I want to catch this one. There. There. Whoa, look at. I want to pause it. Ding dangle. Whoa, there it is. This person, Kit Kat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 completed sets. They're going for it all. They're going for it all. Thank you, Poppin' Stock, for sharing. That's nuts, man. So, look, the community might be small right now. Clearly, based on those sales numbers, 300 to 350 active participants over a marketplace weekend. So you're talking about a few thousand people are taking advantage. This thing could fade off into oblivion, or it could be the next big thing. I feel drawn to it because of the data, because of the licenses, because of the limited quantities, because it gives me those same feelings that I got from holding my first Funko Pop that was numbered to 480, from opening my first pack of NFTs with you guys and looking at the numbers. I'm getting the same vibes here. I think this is better suited for a long run. NBA Top Shot's been around for years. Disney is one of the biggest licenses in the world. So far, they're only doing Pixar, Disney, and Star Wars. They could eventually introduce Marvel and other licenses that they own, or doubtful they would work with anybody else outside of Disney because it's called Disney Pinnacle. But they could rebrand it Pinnacle one day, and they could do more with it. I have a feeling it'll stay under the Disney umbrella for now. But I mean, the possibilities of what they could make are limitless. Look at the number of Disney pins in the shops at any given time, and those inventory of different pins changes every 6 months to a year. If you go on a trip one year and then go on a trip the next year, you're going to see a bunch of pins that were not there before. So I don't want anybody left behind. At the very least, you should create an account and you should take advantage of Disney Plus of getting the one free pin a month. If you want to take it a step further and you still don't want to spend any money, hit up your family members and your friends in whatever communities you're in and find people who aren't using their code. You can get multiple codes. Darth Wacko tested it. It works. Reach out to grandma, your aunts, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, whoever, your good friends, and go, any of y'all into this digital collecting thing? If you're not, give me 2 minutes of your time, log into this website, check out your Disney perks, and just send me this one code. And you can be opening a whole bunch of things and getting free pins. I don't think there's any harm in that. Take advantage, right? But if you want to take it a step further and you want to spend some money, I say get in there and buy the limited edition stuff. I think that's the way to go. The ones that specifically say limited edition, that when you go into the shop are only available until they're sold out, they have a serial number, that's where the big bucks are. There will, I think, be money in these other ones eventually. Maybe a little money now for some of the variants like the display, digital display, which is the ones that have the lines across them. I have one digital display. This Wally egg right here, if you watch it, you'll see it's got some wavy lines across. It gets a little distorted. There's like a digital, and then it goes black and white for a second. Oh, it won't do it unless I click on it, huh? There it goes, when I'm hovering. That's a digital display version. There's these silver and gold sparkle that have it looks like a diamond encrusted exterior. If you look at those are usually lower because they're harder to pull. You have gold, you have silver. Those don't seem to do so well. I don't think people like the solid gold or the solid silver. But these limited edition ones, like here's the limited edition Chaser Raws. There's only 244 of those in the world. Maybe, okay, let's try this Flovana thing. Maybe Pop and Stock can help me here. Flovana is a utility because all this is on the Flow blockchain. It's a utility that allows you to look at data from the Flow blockchain. I'm in here specifically for Disney Pinnacle Market. You can look at editions, sets, or capsules. Trying to find, okay, Chaser. I just want to look at Chasers because there's not that many of them. Now every one of these has a little crown. Now let's, and then if we look at, I can just scroll down Monsters Inc. I don't know why there's not a keyword search, or am I just missing it? Why would you not put a keyword search on all these things? It drives me insane. It's not in anywhere for this whole project. I'm looking for Roz. So I'll just do a Control F for find. Oh, Frozen threw it off. Okay, I didn't scroll down far enough. Another page. Looking for Monsters Inc. It's so weird. I could probably use a series. No. Favorites edition type set. I could narrow this down to Monsters Inc. This is just infuriating though. Like, why is this the way to look through things? Pixar, Monsters Inc. Neon Volume 1. Jeez, we finally got there. See, this is part of what I'm confused about. I don't see Raws. I just put these two. I'm looking at Chasers and Monsters Inc., but all this stuff is not Monsters Inc. So I don't know how to, this is what I'm confused about. Pop and Stock, like where do I find that pin to find out what's going on with it? It's very strange, right? This is franchises. It doesn't look like I can pick franchises up here, but I can alphabetize it? Oh, it can hide a column. I don't know how that would be helpful. I don't know. I don't understand this yet. I would love to understand it. I know there's data here, but I don't know how to get to it to do anything with it. So I don't know if that's on me. Am I an idiot? Or I don't know. I don't know. Maybe somebody can help me out with this sometime, or maybe Pop and Stock will do a live and share with us. I don't know. Anybody? Ideas? Anybody with me still? Did I lose everybody? Did the chat freeze? I went too far into the Disney Pinnacle world. Everybody fell asleep. Dang it. Dang. You never have Pop? Yeah, I'm puzzled. Like, how do you have a site where you don't have a keyword search? I like that we see listings and sales live on that site. That's cool. So you could go to, if you go to Pinnacle Market without any of the filters, what does collection do? Then you can see those sales live. Oh, okay. So that doesn't work. Pinnacle Home. Oh, so I have to log in to look at some of this stuff? Yeah, I'm confused. Like the chain. Okay, good. That's a good reference. A good example. Comparison. Yeah, I tried the Control F and nothing, Gornographic. No, I can see the screen fine, believe it or not, but that's funny. No, here's what's super confusing about this is I used the proper filters, right? I said, show me a chaser, and only from the Monsters Inc. project, and a bunch of other data came up. So I don't even know how that's like. Let's say if I just go to set and I don't put the chaser thing in. If I come down to Pixar, Monsters Inc. Oh my God. Where are you? Alien Remix, Monsters Inc. Neon. Here we go. There's Roz Chase. Now it appears. Weird. Now it appears. So don't have chaser checked. So here's all the pins in that set. Now I finally got narrowed down to something. Franchises, Monster Inc. We got it. Owned. I'm not logged in, so it doesn't know what I own. Here's the mint. Here's the number burned. I'm puzzled by this. Is there a number burned because they didn't sell out? Or was there ever a utility or a reason people would burn? I don't know this answer either. Very strange. It doesn't interest you? Okay, fair enough, Priscilla. Fair enough. I wondered how many people were just out. Still here, computer's still acting up, so in and out while I try to sort it. Definitely interested, but I'm with you. Site is confused. Yeah, this is a little better. I don't know why there are any burned. Low asking price. So Roz is worth about $79. ASP, average selling price, I would assume, $76. None sold in the last 24 hours, but 5 sold in the last week. So over the course of the weekend, 5 of the Rozes changed hands for an average selling price of $76. If you had a mint number 1, oh, here we go. If you had a mint number 1, you'd probably see a big spike. Whoa, at 1.1 sold for $120. Nope, at 1.1 sold for $250 over the last 30 days. And over the last, yeah, that was the same. Over the last, $2,500. Can I see that one sale? That's got to be mint number 1. This person has 13 of them, and there's your best mint number. Mint number 1. This person has 2 of them, and they have mint number 1. Okay, here's all the recent sales. Yeah. Somebody bought mint number 1 for $1,200 on the 2nd. And then it was given out as a challenge reward to somebody on August 3rd. That's weird. Can't organize them by serial number. Interesting. Don't quite understand that yet either. Oh, no, I joked, Priscilla, that with my new project being called Boarding Soon, I was like, sounds like it's similar to the beginning of another word we know, Sune. Could we have a boarding Sune project in the works? Joking, but possible collab in the future. Who knows? Could be fun. I have to take another bio break, gang. Oh, yeah, Gorner Graphic. Hold on, I'll be right back and we'll talk about that. You guys hang out for just a second. I'll be right back. Drink that Topo Chico. Oh yeah, so the the challenges, Gornographic and everybody else, I've only seen one active while I've been involved in this, and that was a couple weekends ago. Disney Pinnacle had a trading weekend, and they were trying to emphasize the importance and get people using trading. So if they put out a chart, and maybe in this Twitter account, I'll look for it while I'm talking. Basically, like over the course of a weekend, if you traded X number of times, you would benefit by getting an extra challenge redemption, a bonus gifted to you by Disney Pinnacle. If you involved in, like, I think a minimum was like 8 trades or something, then you would get something. But the more trades you did, the higher of a payout or a bonus you could receive. And over the course of that weekend, if you did 81 trades, or week, might have been a week. If you did 81 trades, you got the best possible drop. And they were giving out some stuff that was limited to like 49 pieces in the world. And some of those already sold for thousands of dollars. If I had known, if we'd have been involved in this early on, we would all helped each other get 81 trades, because we could have easily just traded things around, right? But what we didn't know, we didn't do it. I'm looking back to see. Some of the people were sharing, like, this is what I got from that weekend, or from that week trading event. How far back am I? September 12th. I think we have to go back further than this. Let's see. Yeah. Now, will they do that again? I imagine they'll do something. Do they have enough of a supply where they can go back and give stuff that's that rare away? Don't know. Like, are they buying from fans to turn around to reinvest into it all? I don't know. Are they sitting on a stockpile of stuff that they acquired earlier on? I don't know. Oh, Dude Lifts was sharing something Pinnacle related. That's interesting. This said at hotels near Disney. You could run into a advertisement for collecting digital Pinnacle or Disney Pinnacle. That's more than Funko is doing with Droppp. Oh yeah, here's somebody that was sharing. Yes, look, boom, I did over 81 trades. Yeah, here's this. The diamond guy explained it. Let me see if I can open this in a different. I don't want to lose my. Well, dang it. Well, I'm here now. And he had a ranking. He made a global leaderboard. Here's a blog post. Maybe this explains it. Oh, here we go. Okay. If you did at least 5 to 10 trades, you could get one randomly selected standard open edition digital pin. They had 9,000 to give away. and so on and so on, with the top tier being if you did 81 plus trades, one randomly selected limited edition digital pin, they had 425 to give away. I don't know if they had enough people to cover all this, so maybe they'll do another one of these soon. I don't know how many people completed over 81 trades. In the case of a tie at the cutoff line, those collectors who tied will each receive the MSRP value of that tier's reward in Dapper credit, with the tier 6 limited edition being worth $50. But that was initial purchase price, not secondary market. That's pretty cool. So they do that. Right, Gorna Graphic? I do say it a lot. Hey, what's up, Ooga? So I find it very fascinating what they're doing, and if you knew more about NBA Top Shot, maybe you would have, there would be some writing on the wall where they're going with this next. But the sheer fact that, like, all the things I already went over, I don't need to repeat myself on the limited edition, the licenses, all that, but also the fact that they're advertising it on Disney Perks Plus, which you guys, Disney, what is it? I know. Disney Plus Perks. You guys should be taking advantage of that. They have other perks on the website. So if you have Disney Plus, there's no reason not to go check this out. This is just absolutely free by having a Disney Plus membership. Oh my God, I can't type. Disney Plus. It's because I'm angled weird. Perks. This website, I'll share it again. I keep sharing it. I've had people hit me up who don't come by the stream and want to know about this. This is just absolutely free. If you're already a Disney Plus member, subscriber, you get this perks website. Things like giveaways. You can enter to win a trip to Dancing with the Stars. I'd sooner gouge my eye out with a hot knife than go to that. Dash pass for 6 months. Tickets to Formula One in Las Vegas, etc., etc. But they have, if you log in, I'll log in with this. Dancing with the Stars is one of the only things in my life that just is fingernails on a chalkboard to me. My ex used to watch it, and I would listen to it while I was trying to go to sleep, and I don't know what it is about the show. It angers me. It's so silly. It's a stupid response, but it is. It just angers me to no end. All right, here we're looking at the full list of stuff that they have currently, and this changes like weekly. Dash Pass, Kroger Boost, D23 Gold membership included. Clear, Duolingo, 30% off Adidas came back. That was gone for a while. Lilo and Stitch, 20% off vinyl and exclusive lithograph. Well, that's cool. Funko, 15% off. Loungefly, 15% off. And Disney Pinnacle, 1 free capsule each month. Oh yeah, no, I can't dance. You're right. You're right. I cannot dance, don't want to dance, and I don't sing either, so I'm not doing any musicals anytime soon. But all those perks are there, and you get the free thing every month. So, like, you could convince your family members, go, hey, have you seen this Disney Plus perks thing? You should check it out. And then when they're over there, go, by the way, while you're there, go to the Disney Pinnacle thing and shoot me that code. They're going to thank you for getting the Dash Pass or the 30% off Adidas. Exactly. Okay, Gamora. That's a good one. Good reference. But you could get those codes, and they're the open edition pins, but eventually I think those open edition pins will still have some pretty darn good value. Not really, Darth Wacko. I might scream, but no dancing. Screaming. I wouldn't even call it singing. Okay, we'll shut her down there with the Disney Pinnacle talk. Yeah, right, Mandy? Mandy's with me. So just wanted to keep this on you guys' radar. This is something I'm learning about more all the time. That Flovana site has some really good details. If I can just figure out how to navigate it, would be very, very interesting. And now to know that we can see sales live over the course of a weekend, that's good to know. So Poppin' Stock's right on the money with Flovana. I want to bring that up. I want to keep in contact with that guy that's building those tools where we can simply and easily see the sales of a previous pin within a couple of button clicks. That gives you an idea of what to spend on a pin, what to sell a pin for. These are all very, very helpful utilities that we need to be aware of. Nope, Nadu, I wouldn't do it. You could have karaoke with Kelly, but I wouldn't do it. No interest at all. Okay, we did our unboxing. We talked about the boarding passes, boarding soon. You got the free NFT for today. Don't forget to claim your free NFT. Make sure you do not use a .dp address, so you get nothing. Sorry, can't help you there. I can't do anything with a .dp address. We did Disney Pinnacle. Oh, by the way, is Cutie back here? I think you were, weren't you? Yeah. Cutie back. Did you hear what happened on Friday on the stream? Yeah, well, it's not religious persecution. I'm not holding people back from dancing because the God told me that it's not cool. I just hate it. That's different. Karaoke with Kelly would be fun, except for she's really good at singing, so like it would all be great. You wouldn't have those cringe moments. Well, if Cutie Beck is not around, I want to tell the story and knowing she's here, but is Cutie Beck here? Let's see. She might just have it on and be busy. That's why we're here. We bring the cringe. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, Port. Like Kelly karaoke wouldn't have that cringe, so it would be fun because she's good, but it wouldn't be fun for the normal reason you like karaoke. All right, we'll try again later. If she comments on something, I'll bring it up. So I think that's mostly it for content that I wanted to get out to you guys today. Any questions on anything? Boarding passes, drop. By the way, I reiterated this so many times, but I keep looking, and as far as I can tell, still no official word from Droppp on anything. No official word it's done. No official word it's over. People keep asking me what I did with my NFTs. They're all sitting there in the Droppp wallet. I'm still holding out hope that there is a future there. I would hate to see what would happen. Like, I want to see what will happen if Funko goes, hey, by the way, gang, we've been working behind the scenes and we're bringing Droppp back in a different way. And this is what it's going to look like now. How many people will be pissed because you said you were shutting down? Well, they never said they were shutting down. So many people will be mad because, well, you said they were done. We should burn them for Droppp Arcade. Well, they didn't say that. A couple of people made a video and ran with an anonymous email that they should have never received in the first place. And then a few people got emails in response saying that they had done some layoffs. Yeah, exactly. People would be pissed, would have zero rights. We live in a time where people look at headlines and tweets and Instagram posts and assume it's all fact and run with it. And gotta stop it. It's so horrible. Sully dude, they should have suspended season 2 until more information. It's not people's fault. I disagree. I think they did the right thing, keeping season 2 going because so many people had already burned and they had already set a deadline. I think that's kind of shady if you go back on it. They stopped season 3 before it could start. And based on that, a lot of people think it's done. That could have been just suspending all of Droppp Arcade so that they didn't get too far into season 3 and then have some real problems. Wait. That was something in quotes from Red Ranger. Was this a joke again, Red Ranger? Gorner Graphics, I think they do have a right to be upset. It was terrible communication and they should... No, I disagree on this one. They have not told anybody that they were done. Now, should they have responded when the rumors were out? Would be good. That would have been good if they had, but I don't think they had any responsibility to answer to rumors, in my opinion. We can have opinions. We can have a debate. Doesn't have to be an argument. I wish they would have responded. Nadu said, odd question, how much more would it cost if you ship stickers in a padded envelope than a standard envelope? About $4 per delivery. Yeah, it's very expensive. As soon as you go to a padded envelope, even at a good discount, the cheapest is about $3.75 these days. And as we get closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas, that'll go up to $4.40, $4.50, maybe even $5. It's a huge leap. Huge leap. This is a fair comment. Allie said, I don't condone rumors, but responsibility goes both ways. Some sort of response would have been really good. Okay, not a serious quote. Always the /S, man. Always the /S. Darth Wacko said, prove me wrong. Wait, what'd you say before prove me wrong? Oh, you're saying the situation. Prove me. Okay, I got you. Port says they can't shut down. I want to see an anime drop, not a funime like Demon Slayer. Oh, that would be huge. What a way to come back that would be. Priscilla said, I literally just shipped single stickers in a padded envelope, $4.80, and the prices will hike up for the holiday. See, confirming what I just said. And I was almost spot on the numbers. It's kind of silly, but I get it too. Like, it has to be handled differently. Now, it would be cool if you're a reshipper. I don't know if this is something they would ever do. If when they got an envelope in for you, they could put it in with other stuff. But I imagine it's not like they ever open the boxes they receive before they reship them to you. So I don't know that they could really do that. That's interesting. I wonder if there's a different service the reshipper would offer with the envelopes. Might want to ask them, or ask them if there's something they could do to treat it more the same like a package. Because same amount of time is involved, right? Like, they get it, they have to sort it, put it in a different area to get sent to you. I don't know what a delivery looks like when it arrives to you. Like, is the box that was originally, if I send you a box, is it then put in another box and sent to you, or do they just slap a new label over the top of it? Oh, okay, I should look into that, Priscilla. I mean, you can, Nadu, sure. Sure, we could work something out. Absolutely. I'd be happy to investigate that for you. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why stickers work so well for me, is that you can just put them in a flat envelope, and even the magnets I could do. Put in an envelope as long as I followed the instructions. One day I tried to send one of the NU ornaments, the 3D printed ones. The envelope came back. They weren't having that. It's got to fit through their sorting machines. Gornographic says eBay has a 99-cent thin envelope they offer. Maybe look into getting something like that, or some method to take advantage of that. Interesting. So, Priscilla, interestingly enough, on Whatnot, if I do a giveaway or sell something that can go in an envelope under 1 ounce, when I print the label out, it looks different than a standard shipping label, but it does have tracking barcode on there. Now, maybe that's what you're saying, and that tracking's not reliable, but the sticker that I have to put on the front of one of those envelopes, if somebody wins, say, a sticker set from me, as long as it's under 1 ounce and it's flat, the label looks very different. They just slap a new label on it. Yeah, so for some reason with your envelope, I don't get it. But it would be cool if they had a service where you could say, any envelopes from me, put in an envelope and send to me, or in a padded envelope, and you paid a certain price. But we can investigate it for you. I'm sure I can make something happen. Okay, no other questions. Yeah, I would love to hear something from Droppp. I have my opinions, but ultimately, by now, I think most everyone you polled would say we should have heard something. That's safe to say. It seems weird to me. The only thing I can think of, and why you wouldn't at this point, is if you had something that you wanted to still do with it, with Droppp. Or maybe they haven't said anything because they're afraid they're going to get 8 gazillion questions from people. What about the stuff I already redeemed? Will I receive that? Even though they could put it in writing and say, look, we're shutting down. Everything will still be delivered as promised. All your grails and legendaries, etc. But they don't want to deal with the backlash of the gazillion questions. Could be the reason they haven't said anything. I don't think that's a good reason, but it could be the reason. I don't know. When I'm there, I will try to ask if the opportunity arises at New York Comic Con. I'll try to ask because I would really love to know the answer to that. And if I could get them to tell me off the record, I would. But I wouldn't break the trust I would have with them and tell you guys what I found out. So if I come back and say I know nothing, could be I know nothing, or that I don't know anything and I can't tell you. Or that I do know something and I can't tell you. That's why I am speculating that they must be thinking of restructuring it because they would have said something. But now it feels right to say that, right? But companies do some interesting things. Maybe they pare down to just Funko IP. I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of that at all. That's very interesting, Walking Miracle. They could do that. You could have like an Easter-ish drop, and you have to be careful with the religious perspectives of things and if it offends people, but you could do like an Easter thing. You could do a summer thing. They've done holidays, Christmas, Halloween. You could theme a few drops a year around it to keep paying at least all the bills and see how it goes. And then if you could build it up, maybe you could then go back to companies. I don't know. Alex R21R, I just received my Funkoween Pops, but they didn't include the UV protector. Do you think they'll refund me or something? Oh, yes. If you paid for it, reach out to customer service, save them some time, and provide your order number and photos of your Pops, preferably in the brown box, kind of just opened up. If you have that still, take a photo and send it to them. Make sure you put your order number, your email address you used for the order, all that stuff. Shorten the time and the back and forth by giving it to them up front. And tell them you didn't get your pop protector that you paid for, and they'll probably refund you or send you a pop protector. Natty, don't worry. When December comes, they will do a holiday drop, and people will say, "Oh, I won't get them for the holidays." Boo! Exactly, Chuck. Yeah, unless they say yes, you can tell your audience, and then I would tell you. Walking Miracle. That's a good question. We'd have to go back through and look at Pop and Stock's website to see the number of burns, but like Funimé was the last one that was a Funko licensed one. It had a 49% burn, so that already tells a bit of a story, doesn't it? Misty says, and drop wallet. Wait, what? Was there a first part to that I missed, Misty? I'm sorry. No, I don't see a previous comment. What was that, Misty? Drop is only done Funko except for the monster line. Yes. So if they said, you know what, let's just be Funko so people aren't more confused, I think that could help. I think that could help. Yeah, okay, I think that may have been, yeah, Natty, what you're trying to say earlier, and you just reworded it for me now. He said, basically, Funko's only done drop except for the monsters line, which is the one thing that was not Funko licensed, Funko branded. So if they say, you know what, let's just be Funko so people are aren't more confused, that makes sense. And then the DP instead of drop could stand for Digital Pop, so that they don't have to change anything except everything goes through Funko.com. I mean, for that matter, I don't think you want to just have it. You could still have it linked from Funko.com, but I think you would just rebrand it from Drop to Digital Pop. There's already been a lot of work and money put into that infrastructure. I don't think you just walk away from it, because you'd have to spend a lot more money to make it part of Funko.com, and that doesn't make a lot of sense. And include your drop. Oh yeah, include your drop wallet when you message them. Yes, if you put your order number in there, it'll have it. But more info in a nice, concise way is better. A corner graphic. I had not thought of that. Maybe the drop executives are trying to buy drop back from Funko, and lots of moving pieces here. I hadn't thought of that. It's possible. A lot of people brought up, what could they sell? Absolutely they could, and I still think, like, if I got a time in a room with Funko, and maybe even if I had a backer, Funko, we want to buy drop from you. We want to operate it slightly different than what you were doing before, but we need in writing a promise from you that for the next 3 years at least, and then we could renegotiate, that you give us at least 5 exclusives a month. Maybe you can go even bigger. You can say maybe even 10 a month from licenses. You continue to do that part of it, but we'll buy those pops from you up front. We'll give you the money up front. You just produce them. We'll do the artwork and get everything up on the website. We'll sell packs or however we're going to distribute it. But what we're going to do is the minute somebody opens a pack or gets a redeemable, whatever method that looks like, they can immediately turn it in and get their pop delivered to them. None of this waiting business. We had them up front. You produce them and ship them to us. You just keep that running. And then we'll handle the website stuff. The only big problem that comes from that is then whoever owns Droppp has to, unless Funko would negotiate this for them and take a cut, negotiate use of the license in making the NFT or NFTs. They probably would have to really diminish the amount of NFTs they made, like the number of different unique ones. But they could do it like Topps now and make one card you bought, and then eventually you might get the chase and that gets you the physical. I don't, there's a lot of legal issues hoops to jump through there. I can't imagine the Droppp team is happy at all. I mean, some of them are no longer with the company, so absolutely they're probably not happy, but there's a couple still left. And seems Funko wants nothing to do with it, really. I mean, I don't know if I would say that. Definitely they haven't talked about it. So we might be able to jump to that conclusion as a fan. But again, they also may not know what the hell they're doing, where they're going next, and that's why they haven't said anything. And then once they do figure it out, they would tell us. But the longer that they don't talk, the more angry people will be if they ever come back. If they wait 2 months from now, and then they go, by the way, gang, new Droppp coming next week. We got it. There'll be so many pissed off people. So many. But if they did what I was talking about and did immediate distribution, like you open it and you can immediately redeem it now, man, that would change things. Because it would be like the LE project, but not like the LE project. Yeah, I just don't think we have enough data to say that we think they don't care about it. Well, yeah, but what would Droppp even do if Droppp doesn't have Funko? Because no matter what, if you're going to continue with the same fan base, you probably need to have Funko product being redeemed, right? Yeah, I don't think I mean, if they came up with something really cool, they might survive. But like the monsters, they didn't do real well up front, and they certainly didn't do good on the secondary market. They have done better over time because more of the boxes have been open, therefore there are less boxes to open. And they did some prizes, some giveaways with that. But the beauty of the Funko stuff was there was the utility of a redeemable pop, and then the utility of Droppp Arcade. So unless Droppp could come up with something that could entice at least a portion of the Funko fans to come over, and there was a good utility provided, they'd be in real trouble right off the bat. Yeah, I don't know if I would say that either, Walking Miracle. I don't know where they're at here recently. If we go to the secondary market for Droppp monsters, can you even see it on? It's down at the bottom, isn't it? I don't remember how far back we got to go. Let me try monsters. There, that's Universal Monsters. It's not there. Does it appear here at all? No. Droppp stickers. Droppp stickers. Droppp Monster doesn't appear anywhere on here, does it? I believe it eventually sold out. Let's try Atomic Hub and see what we can find out. Yeah, I don't remember if it sold out right away or even if they did it the same way. Like, did they do the same kind of drop that closed after 4 hours? Oh, nice, Darth Wacko. So, if we look at, so it was 10,000 unique NFTs. Let's look at the crates. Of the 10,000 that were originally put out, 9,235 have been burned. So I'm assuming eventually they were all sold out. We could check the wallets of who's holding to see who has the most at this point. Pikaplay.dp are, yeah, so these are individuals. They're not being held. There's Jumps in there. Jumps got a bunch. It's not held by like their wallet that they used to send stuff out, so there must have been a sellout eventually. But now the average selling price, or the lowest asking price, is $16.99 of a Monsters crate. And if we look at all sales, crate there sold for $36.55. There was one sold for $36.90. The last few have sold for $25 and $25. But the last one that sold was 2.5 months ago. It's possible it's getting harder to get IPs for digital collectibles, and they said let's take a break till things turn around or abandon ship once nobody wants to give us their IP to do drops. Possible. They've done a good job of mixing in the Funko license, their own license, non-licensed stuff, their own brand, which, to Walking Miracle's point, could they survive on doing just that? And that's an interesting concept that I hadn't thought of. You also have things like that don't have an IP, and they already did, like Zodiac signs. You could do stuff like that. They could do another line of Zodiac with some new molds, and every Zodiac time of the year, they could do a new drop. I mean, there's, what is that, 10, 11, 12 a year? I don't know how many Zodiac signs there are. There's a lot of opportunity there to do non-licensed stuff. You can do mythical creatures. You can do, I mean, they could do freaking buildings if they wanted to. I mean, there's a bunch of things they could do that they don't necessarily have to pay a licensing fee. And that could get interesting. Yeah, no, Droppp Arcade, you couldn't use the monsters. Yeah, couldn't use the crates, couldn't use the monsters. I wonder, could we see, are there any sales of monsters at all? Not just the crates. Like, are those changing hands? I don't think we can just look at all sales. I think you have to look at sales of a certain template. So, like, you couldn't really look at this easily, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know how to look at that. What if I could view on market and then history? Okay, we could do that. Yeah, I forgot. So recently, NFTs sold. Here's one of the monsters sold for $4, $3, $5, $2.50, $2.50. These with the backgrounds are a little more rare too. We don't have the score on these, but they're all mint ones because they're unique. Crate sold for $25.50. Like, why are you buying a crate for $25.50 if none of the monsters are sold? Well, the monsters sold for $50. So that's interesting. Why'd that one sell for $50? Is it super rare? Doesn't look like it. Somebody just really wanted that one with the kerchief on his neck. That's interesting. With the little bandana. Yeah, why would you pay $26? Well, there's another $26 one. So maybe there are some real rare ones still left. Ah, really popping stock. Hot dog vendor, there's a bounty on it. Well, that's interesting. It's still in the crate, huh? Oh, look at the background on that one. Is that super rare? Oh, yeah. Epic clothing, epic headwear, epic background. Okay, so that would be worth quite a bit if somebody pulled it. What's the bounty for? Do we know how much? Hey, there you go. Natty has the same question. Because the math is starting to math if we're talking about hundreds or thousands of dollars. Don't know. That'd be, I mean, considering there are less than 1,000 crates left, that could get interesting, depending on what the bounty is, if it's worth it or not. I had not heard of that. That's really interesting. Or if I did, I'd forgotten about it completely. All right, interesting day. We're closing in on 2 o'clock. Honestly, I don't think I want to play any games today, so I may close it down here in just a couple of minutes. I know there is a bounty for 400 if someone pulls TMNT 1 Epic Leo. Oh, there's still one left in a pack? Really? No kidding. Hold on, more research time. What am I looking at? Hold on, I want to go TMNT Funko, right? Series 1. Oh, that's a fake. A-holes. Look at that. I fell for it. Good Lord, there's a lot of TMNT knockoffs. That one looks legit, but I don't see, there's no... There it is. TMNT Funko. Template, filters, rarity, epic. Looking for a Leo. Might be this one. And because we have the template brought up, we can scroll down and see if we put it in order by template number. No, that's a different one. But we would be able to see where number 1 is. So we'd know, and that's probably series 2. We're probably talking series 1. TMNT 1, Leo, Blacklight. Gotcha. Gotta be that one. We could just click on that. We go down and put it in order by mint lowest. Pre-mint.nft. So it's still sitting in the pool. And somebody's got a bounty of $400 for that epic? Wait a minute. Let's look at this math here. I have an unopened pack of TMNT Series 1. But how many unopened packs are there, and what's the likelihood you're going to pull that? If we go to templates, pack. Oh, is it Jeff's wax? All right. All right. So we got the two. We'd have to look at both of these. So if we open this in a new tab, we can see that of the premium packs, of which we started with 10,000, there are only how many we have been burned? Oh wow, there's still 715 premium packs unopened. And standard packs. How many are still left? Of the 20,000 standard, wow, there's only 1,371. Wow, and look at that. 872 is still the lowest on the standards, and the premium, the lowest is 2670. This will get interesting if that bounty sticks around and people keep opening, and yet it's not found. That's I wouldn't crack my pack unless we got down to like under a few hundred left and that bounty still existed. But at that point, the pack would be worth way more, might be worth as much as the bounty. That's a good point, Walking Miracle. And somewhere, because of the way the blockchain data is all there, somebody could set some parameters and go, what is a dead wallet? Like we know there was that one account that used to buy a lot from me that just went totally silent. But you could look and say, if there's not been any activity on the account in the last 3 months, it can be considered dead. Of all the packs that are still outstanding, how many are in those wallets? You could run the math. Very interesting. Very interesting. I wonder too, like, in the earth. No, I shouldn't even say this out loud. Like, what if you? Okay, what if you knew someone had passed? Like they were gone. You know, God forbid. But they passed, and you were like maybe a spouse, and you knew they had some valuable stuff in there. You could then attempt to log into the account. And if it was one of those old accounts from way back when, chances are they wouldn't have two-factor authentication. I say this because I really wonder what's going on with Brian Mariotti's wallet that has a couple of NFTs I really want. Like, he never had two-factor authentication on. That stuff's just sitting there. He can't access it. Or maybe he knows the password, but he hasn't tried. That's the person we're talking about, Nadu? That Freddy Funko guy? He had multiple dead wallets? I wonder what happened to him. We never heard, nobody ever got an answer? Nobody knew who he was? He bought a lot of stuff from my collection, from Nerds Unite, and then just silent. That's nuts, man. I hope whoever it was, they're okay, and maybe they just like I've spent too much money, I'm going to stop doing this. but you think they might have surfaced for Droppp Arcade. Red Ranger, I passed Brian at San Diego Comic-Con, made eye contact with him, and he immediately averted his eyes and looked elsewhere. He's not talking to me. I don't know, one, if I could talk to him and keep my cool, but two, I don't know that he would have anything to do with me. He bought physical stuff from my shop too, so I know he was from overseas. I think most digital collectors have short attention spans and move along to new things. I hope whoever it is okay, Priscilla. I don't wish harm on anybody. But interesting that if they do still have a wallet with all that stuff in there, the value had to have gone up way big time during Droppp Arcade. Maybe Red Ranger. I don't know that emotionally I'm really want to talk to him. I could be wrong in my assessment, but when the going got tough and Funko had to make some decisions, they made decisions, and I don't blame them for that. But then there was an opportunity to bring those of us who helped build that brand back, and there were no phone calls made. There was no reaching out to anybody. Just peace out, goodbye. We'll hire a new one. We'll get a new version of you. Brian Mariotti, who was the CEO of Funko, he bought it from Mike Becker and ran it until he was, as I've heard it, I don't know for sure, but he left, and the rumor is the board told him to leave. I don't know for sure. I don't want to spread any rumors, but that's what I've heard. In the 3.5 years that we worked together, he said my name maybe 3 or 4 times. He acted like he didn't know who I was. I sat in a room with him on 2 occasions for over an hour and podcasted with him, and he did not make eye contact with me. He looked anywhere else. He looked all over and wouldn't make eye contact with me. And I never got one time as part of the social team, we got he pulled us all aside and said, it was at New York Comic-Con at the booth. And he said, just want to tell you guys, you're doing a great job. I really appreciate all the hard work. And I know you put in a lot of extra hours that go unpaid and unacknowledged. And he did give us a small bonus, which I appreciated. That was great. More than anything, it was great to hear him say he actually understood what we were doing. But that was the longest conversation I had with him outside of those podcasts. And one time on an I used to work out in the gym there every morning, Monday through Friday. I would go down, work in the gym, and he worked out there a lot. But to tell you the mentality a little bit of the executives of Funko versus the peons, the actual workers like myself, there was a gym. We need a reference here. We need pens. We need markers. There was a gym that was like this big, right? Not as big as what's on the paper, but to scale, about that big. And within that gym, there was another room right there that was only available to certain executives. And they had different equipment in there, and they had classes. They would do like kickboxing classes in the mornings and stuff. When none of us were ever invited or allowed to be in that room. I never walked in there one time, but it had all of its own nice equipment in there. But anyway, Brian would be in that room a lot, and sometimes he'd come out to use the other gym equipment with us schlubs. He never spoke a word to me, and it was kind of nice, Priscilla. It was kind of a known thing that you didn't talk to him. He always had his headphones in. It was an unspoken but known thing. And one day, I left the gym, I went and showered, he went to wherever he cleaned up. I think he had a shower in his office, but somehow he ended up on the elevator going up to his office at the same time as me. And I still had my headphones in listening to a podcast or whatever. And I heard over, "How's it going, Sully?" And I was like, it was just me and him. And I was like, "Wait, excuse me?" And he's like, "How's it going?" I was like, "Oh." I probably looked at this shocked. I was like, good? How are you? Like, I'm not supposed to talk to you. Like, is this okay for you to talk to me? Like, it was the most awkward thing. And I wanted to be like, "Hey man, want to grab lunch and chat?" But there's no way that was going to happen. Couldn't do that. He only had certain people that he would really... exactly. He only had certain people that he would really talk to on a regular basis, and those were people he hired himself or were like upper executive levels. It was an odd and very, very weird working relationship that we as a team had with him. He really liked Yoko, and worked closely with Yoko in the early days, but I think that's because she was there when there were just a handful of employees. No, he had a full bathroom and shower in his office now, dude. You know, when they built that building out, like, he built it the way he wanted to. He had all his toys, his collectibles, and glass shelves, which were super cool. Couches and chairs, big desk, and he loved his what's that furniture place? Rustic, or what's it called? I forget. I don't buy stuff there because it's crazy expensive. And he had his Big Mac, not a burger, a computer. He had a Big Mac computer. And yeah, he had the bathroom and the shower in there. And so he was an introvert until he needed to be on camera, and then he could be at least somewhat engaging. Maybe he could have been intimidated by me, Red Ranger. I don't know. I mean, I'm a bigger person, so maybe, but I don't know. I think I come across to most people as open and inviting, and like anytime he spoke, I was like eye contact and like, you know, pay attention, and I don't know what the deal was, but not shocking he likes the cute girls. This Priscilla. I mean, he came across as shy and never seems to do public speaking. Yeah, like he never seemed to enjoy it. Yeah, he was on a bunch of especially when Funko went public, he had to do interviews and stuff, and he had the spiel down, and he could do it, but I don't think he enjoyed it. I think that's fair. I don't think there's anything I could have done, Red Ranger. No, if their opportunity had been there to get to know him better and have some conversations with him and like actually share thoughts I had about the company, I would have 1,000,000% done it. Even if I felt awkward, I would have, but I didn't feel awkward. I can talk with anybody, really. I had a lot of ideas, but no one was going to listen. Every once in a blue moon, I was able to tell Mark, my original boss, would listen. And then he says he carried it up the chain. I assume he did, but I never got proof that he did. And then we had another boss named Molly. I would share with her. Same thing. I don't know if it got past her ever. The one executive was the president, Andrew Perlmutter. I got a chance to podcast with him a couple of times, and he was like a real down-to-earth human being and like really accessible. And I told him a couple of ideas, and he was, oh, that's cool. Like, it never went past that, but I would have loved to have had opportunities for like, hey, let's get in a room, let's brainstorm, let's talk. What ideas do you guys have? You're close to the ground, you know the fans. What are they asking for? What are they doing? Like, you know, we got to make a presentation that got passed on to those people, which is pretty typical in a big company. Liz has a great point, and someone who's not good at public speaking or gets nervous will be more shy talking to those who are comfortable with public. Yeah, so in that way, maybe I was intimidating in a way. I don't know. I was not always good with public speaking and still get nervous sometimes, like especially when I'm doing the panels with these like real celebrities like Giancarlo Esposito and stuff. I get pretty nervous before those, but I'm able to hold it together and act like a real human being for the most part. I don't know. It's interesting that he would choose to do what he does and be in the limelight if that was so challenging. Like, I could see running a company and then hiring people to be that public-facing person. But, like, it's like he chooses to do it. Where was Judy? You mean Judy from the Funkoween drops? Like, that haunted HQ? I don't know. I never had an experience with it. I heard other people talk about hearing, they heard heels walking in the stairwell even though there was nobody there. And they would like call out and they wouldn't get an answer, but I never experienced that. Every once in a while I had that odd feeling, like if I was alone down in the gym or in an area down there, but I get that odd feeling if I'm alone anywhere with like dark corners, so. The payoff is that fans congregate to him at shows and cons, which is very different than walking onto a stage and talking. I guess, yeah, that's probably, yeah. Yeah, Misty, that's fair too. I mean, I have been there before, and every once in a while it still happens. Where talking to somebody that maybe I respect a lot gets a little more challenging. I'm afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing instead of just being myself. But the more I do it, the better it's gotten. Like, the more podcasts I did, the easier it got. The more times in front of the camera. That first time in front of the camera, Yoko and I did an unboxing for Thor Ragnarok Mystery Minis. And that video is still online somewhere. I was so nervous. And she did everything she could to mess with me. In hindsight, I don't know if she was doing it to be funny and to get me out of, like, to make me more comfortable, or if she was just messing with me. I need to ask her that. Oh, for sure, Nadu, for sure. But again, I feel like like he put himself in that position to be that. Mike definitely did. Mike loves to do that stuff. He is a showman through and through. He wants to be on a stage. He told me that one time. Like, he took me to dinner at this traveling circus. Well, it was stationary here until COVID for a long time. I forget what it's called, but like La Trattoria or something. But we went to that, and he's like, man, if it ever didn't work out with Funko, I would want to be one of these people right here, putting on a show, entertaining, playing a character. Like, that's what Mike always wanted to do. So for him to get to run Funko for the time he did and do fun days, and then to go off and do Rockimoto, and now he does all his videos where he turns around. And I agree with that. Public speaking is a muscle. It has to be worked out. Twitch streaming was what helped me get over my fears. Oh, nice. If I didn't start live streaming and practicing that way, there's no chance I could have done the panel in a couple of years back. You always do great on the panels, too. I felt like you seemed very comfortable, and you came across like relatable and just passionate about what you do. I mean, maybe because I know you, that was easier to see. I feel like knowing you, if it had been awkward for you, I might have recognized that before anybody else. But it didn't feel like it felt like you did a good job. You did a good job, and it felt like you were okay with it. Nadu said it's the same thing for owners, for sports teams. Some owners you don't hear a peep from, and then hear things from the reps, and others you can't stop hearing them and getting. Yeah, 100%. And that's what I'm saying. Like he could have been the guy who was running Funko, was at his desk, was a photo in a book or on a wall or on a website, but then he had someone else that was the face of the company that like in his position during the time I was there at Funko, he could have had Reese O'Brien or Ben Butcher or Andrew Perlmutter. He was grooming to be that person, to be the one in front of the camera all the time, because Andrew was good at it. Those people were also good at it, but maybe he was scared about what they were going to say because they had some mouths on him. Oh, same Darth Wacko. Yeah, Jerry Jones. Remember when he tried to coach the team? Like, he probably still tries. But, like, yeah, I don't want to hear from him anymore. Like, he needs to be at a desk somewhere. One of the most involved coaches in all of the NFL, and he has one of the most valuable brands in the world, so he's done something right. I'm never going to be a fan, but he's done something right. I respect his business acumen from that perspective. I don't respect some of the things I've heard him say and do. I think he's done quite a bit of harm over the years as well. Yeah, there you go. There's a good, concise way to say it. Okay, fun conversation, as always, and I know this will be cut out if anybody were to take an excerpt from this and do whatever. I'm not here to badmouth anybody, any companies, any individuals. I just don't mention names of people that I don't really care for. I'll allude to them. I want everyone to enjoy collecting Funko. I want it to be a successful company. I want Droppp back. I want it to be a successful branch of the company, or whatever they choose to do with it. I want everybody here to enjoy collecting, and this to be a safe environment. I want you to have fun. I want Nerds Unite to be that. Us coming together, lifting each other up, respecting each other, having good conversations. Differences of opinions are okay, but not arguments and name-calling and being children. I don't, for 1 second, I'm not cool with that. I certainly am not a fan of rumors, directed at me or anyone else. I think we should all, anytime we have something we're sharing, we should say whether it's sarcasm or, hey, I heard from this website that this is a thing. I got this fact over here, and this is a thing. I think we should make that part of our our lives every day. Stop reading headlines and regurgitating that as fact. That drives me nuts. Misty, I would agree with you. I would not bet against you. I would agree with you 100%. Let's make Funko dangerous. That's the tagline for another video production group. Yeah, it was a fun discussion. I mean, I love sharing, and I would never share anything that I think would be truly detrimental to anyone. Just those were my experiences, and I don't think he liked me. That's what it boils down to. I've heard that before, Comic Zombie. I did watch a little Darkwing Duck back in the day, but I like the tagline for a company of "Let's make whatever dangerous." It's kind of fun. Be sure to claim your free NFT before it goes away, and then just one last time, in case anybody wasn't here before, ! Boarding pass in the chat. We'll bring up the pre-order form for my 2 new exclusive stickers that are in the shape of boarding passes. We got one going to NYC for New York Comic Con. We got one going to TwitchCon, San Diego. And if you pre-order from me by filling out the form, you will get not only the stickers with the Kiss Cut, it's a whole sticker, but the Kiss Cut sticker in the middle will come off so you can do whatever you want with it. Those will be hand numbered. You guys will get the low mint numbers by pre-ordering, but you'll also get with each of those 2 NFTs, a logo NFT and a Hoot NFT, which will be airdropped to you. Won't necessarily match the number on your sticker, by the way. I will randomly generate those unless you guys want me to match the sticker. You tell me. We could go back to 2015 Fun Days, the last of the dangerous Fun Days. Was that the last year they threw out prizes before they started being careful? Yeah. I started in 2013 going, and so I had been to a few at that point. But it was dangerous. I think one girl got her leg or her arm broken, something like that. Fortnite birthday celebration started today. Well, I may have to play a game or two. I'm just not going to play on stream. I need to go do a couple things around the house. And, if anybody has any questions about any of this stuff, you can hit me up on Twitter for sure. Match the stickers. You're never busy. I mean, it's not that complicated to do. That's fairly easy to do. I thought it was worse than that, but it could have been the rumor mill. I don't like the rumor mill. I'm with you, Comic Zombie. It could have been way simpler than what people made it out to be. Okay, let's look for somebody to raid. I'm going to send you all some points, and we're going to get out of here. Thank you for having patience with me through the Disney Pinnacle discussion, if that wasn't your thing. But again, at the very least, you should take advantage and get the free NFTs, the free pins. Let's see. We got Twitchy Tides going. Wait a minute. This guy? I didn't know that this guy streamed. I should have known this. I'm a dummy.
What does that even mean? So, okay, I got
this guy I follow on Twitter, by the way. He shares all kinds of new information about what's going on Twitch. I don't really know his vibe here on stream, what he's doing exactly, so I'm not going to raid over there. But I'm going to be watching because he shares a lot of information about changes that go on at Twitch and like new reports and breaks down changes to the platform. I find it really interesting. Let's see. Welsh Dan is live. Liz is live. Somebody said she's going to TwitchCon, so we might see Liz there. Tim the Tap Man. Poppin' Stock. You still got a chance to win some NFTs from Poppin' Stock. Crawling Moon. What's Crawling Moon doing? Hey, I don't know that I've gotten to raid Crawling Moon forever. Crawling Moon made some really fun utilities for collecting Funko NFTs. He plays Twitchy Tides and Justin TV. Is this a game? We're going to raid over to a child. It was bad. What? Oh, the kid that got hurt. Yeah, it wasn't good at all. We're going to raid over to Crawling Moon. I haven't had this chance to do this in forever. So let me add points to you guys first. Yeah, the next year things changed a lot. I was there for that. It was very weird. We still had to get loud, but then there was no, you couldn't, like, people used to stand and hold the tables and the chairs over their head. It was crazy. It was crazy. All right, we're going to raid over to Crawling Moon. Here we go. Remember to wash your hands, check in on somebody you love, make sure they're doing okay, and above all else, most importantly, Nerds Unite. I'll see you guys Thursday on Whatnot is my next live, and then Friday again. Tomorrow is Lincoln Park. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
I'm gonna get these 2 people over here real